Watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Welcome to Lawrence Cardinals football on 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1. My name is Sean Tronabroff, and I am here with Matt Mitten at Lawrence Cardinal High School for the matchup of the 1-7 Cardinals versus the 2-6 Princeton Tigers. And Matt, as we get ready for the opening kickoff today, we should have a really good game.
We should, as we see Lawrence getting ready to head out and kick. So I'm always excited to see a game in the rain. Granted, at least it's fun not to get fully rained down on. Shout out to the booth we are in.
Yes, thank you to Lawrence High School for really everything they've done this year. Been very accommodating, helped us out a lot. But one thing we should have mentioned pregame that has now been confirmed: Giovanni Brogel suffered an ankle injury last week, and he, the kicker, one of the best kickers you'll find around here, and he is not out for the opening kickoff right now. Trying to spot him on the sideline, I can't, but it looks like number 62, Will Schuler, the senior linebacker, is lining up to take this opening kick. So with Brogel's got a big field goal range. That one could definitely hurt the special teams today. Schuler kicks that one.
Kick. That's a smart call, actually.
I'll be honest, I don't know if that was a call or he just ran up and just smashed it. Like he really just went up full.
Yeah. I think about it, but this could be a situation too with the rain where you see a squib kick, give the team a chance to possibly muff it, allow them to send him back. So they got him pinned down by what looks like a little bit past the 30-yard line, which is still, I'd say, decent field position given the fact that your starting kicker isn't healthy.
Yeah, you just saw Schuler. He just came up, he whacked it, ball dribbled hard on the ground. You did see it muffed, but if that bounces forwards instead of backwards off the muff, you never know what's going to happen in a situation like that. It does provide an extra element. It looks like the Princeton's going to start with the ball at the 35-yard line right now as they come out for their first possession. This offense has two receivers to left, one to the right, led by Jackson Patron, the senior quarterback. Patron fakes the handoff. He throws a screen pass that bounces right off of his receiver, Everaldo Servill's hands. You see that early on, quick screen pass, and you just saw the weather right away. That ball slipped right out of his hands.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be hit or miss when it comes to that, but, Lawrence, good break there. Either way, I think Dante Bastian would have had him for a short gain, but I think they'll take an incompletion any day.
And you look at that, that might be a preview of what's to come, because this Princeton offense, they have the same way that Lawrence has a dynamic Gabriel Mitchell-White. They have two really dynamic receivers. So that moment right there, if those ball get slippery, it could be somewhat hurtful down the line. And now you're seeing, once again, one receiver to the left, one receiver to the right. Ball gets handed off and immediately swallowed up. Lahimu Pui, the senior running back on that carry, gets immediately swallowed up by the Cardinals' defensive line, making this one a 3rd and 10 situation.
Let's see the defensive line make their presence known early. Good job to clog up the holes. It'll be interesting to see how the trenches face off today.
And this one, like we talked about pregame, this one's probably going to come down to the trenches. If you can get that type of stop every single time, that Pui gets the ball, or when the quarterback decides to get a keeper, it's going to be a good way for your defense to establish themselves.
Absolutely.
And now we're seeing Jackson Patron. He's got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It looks like Everaldo Serville is the lone receiver to the left right now. Watch out for Jaden Johnson, number 4, to the right. Patron gets it. He's looking deep. Dante Bastian gets beat by Serville, but the ball is slightly overthrown, and that's going to make it 4th and 10.
Lucky break there from Dante Bastian. You could tell, look like he might have fallen down a little bit based off the slippery field, but it's like I said before, if you're a defensive back, especially a corner, you have to have short-term memory. At the end of the day, it was an incompletion. He was well overthrown. You're looking to get the ball back on offense, just shake it off and try to make a play on offense in the next drive.
And you get away with one right there, right? You'll take a 3-and-out, no yards gained every single time your defense steps onto the field. So that's a win. Princeton only had the ball for a little over a minute. That's a good start to this game if you're Coach Radis.
Now, who else but GMW back to return? It'll be interesting to see if he fields this one or calls for a fair catch.
That ball gets punted. It's a good punt. GMW attempts to field it, and he fumbles the ball.
Oh.
And he picks it up as a defender still has his arms wrapped around him, very casually, may I add. Disaster averted right there.
Definitely disaster averted. I mean, great job to Mitchell White to keep his focus, get the ball back. But in this situation, a rainy game, that might be one, if you're Coach Radis, you want to tell your players, let it drop. But regardless, starting position at the 30, still good position for this Lawrence offense.
And Brandon Decker now leads this offense. We're seeing Armando Rosario, who started a lot of year at free safety, got some snaps out of the slot and receiver positions last week, seeing him out on the first drive right now. And like you said pregame, you want to see smash mouth football, Matt. Condra Soto, Dane Bates at fullback. First play of the drive, handed off to Soto, and he'll be stopped after a gain of 1 yard, runs to the left side, and gets swallowed up fairly quickly by the Princeton defensive line.
Another interesting setup out there. Looked like that might have been James Clayton Leary lined up as a receiver, I think. Be interesting to see if they're trying to find new ways to utilize their athletes.
Couldn't quite tell right there. We're seeing Artie Stubbs check off of the field after he was on for the first snap. Gabriel Mitchell-White and Rosario, the 2 receivers to the right side. Condra Soto, the lone running back, lined up to the left. Looks like Phil McCall, number 42, lined up in the tight end spot. That's going to be a screen to Gabe Mitchell-White. Mitchell-White makes a man miss, and he's got a little bit of space, and he's going.
He's going.
He's at the 45 to 40. One man trying to track him down. He beats him to the angle, and Gabriel Mitchell-White, 70 yards to the house. What a start for the Lawrence Cardinals.
What a bold call to go for that RPO out there in the rain. And then Gabriel Mitchell-White, who looked dead in the water for a second behind the line of scrimmage, does a little turnaround, throws out the nasty stiff arm, turns the corner. He was just the fastest man on the field. No one was going to catch him.
That is the town of Gabriel Mitchell-White right there, because it looked like number 4, Jaden Johnson, the corner who started at receiver, read that play right away. He had him dead to rights, like you said. He stiff arms him, gets his lane to the outside, and he just outruns the entire defense.
Now, this is what's going to be interesting. If how this extra point goes and how they take their extra points in the future without Gio to kick.
And with Schuler out there, we've yet to see him attempt extra point this year. Decker gets the snap, hold is down, it's good.
Right down the middle.
And Will Schuler looks more than accustomed to this kicker roll through with the 9:59 mark here in the first quarter. Schuler with a decent kickoff to open up the game, and then he gets a nice extra point right through the uprights. Not looking too bad with life without Brogel.
No, not at all, but still, obviously, Giovanni Brogel is a kicker that has played for pretty much any high school team. So, but it is good to see their backup come in, nail that field goal. It'll be interesting to see because he's a well-built guy. It'll be interesting to see if they let him kick it deep. It's almost like having an extra tackler out there on the field covering kickoffs.
He's a veteran linebacker. He plays in the offensive line a little bit too. Like, he's a well-versed football player. He's someone that Radis and the rest of the staff really trust. And we've talked about it multiple times, the next man up mentality on this team. Having Schuler be able to be that next man up in a position as unique as kicker is just only a positive.
Only a positive indeed.
And now Schuler out for the kickoff. Up 7-0, 9:59 left here in the first quarter. Extremely strong start for the Cardinals on their home field. Only wish the weather was a little bit better so we could have a bigger crowd. Nonetheless, the little crowd that is here tonight in the pouring rain was more than excited to see Gabriel Mitchell-White do what we've really seen him do all season long.
For the Cardinals, and it's set to kick.
Schuler now lining up towards the center. The ball now falls off of the tee. Another side effect of these poor rainy conditions.
Looks like Bastion might come in and hold the ball for him, and I believe that is what he's going to do. Yes, it is.
Oh, Matt, nice observation. Quick prediction as we have him going down. Schuler kicks this one off.
It's another squib kick.
Ball goes off of a Princeton Tiger, and it will be fallen onto the 28-yard line by number 28, the starting running back, Lahemo Pui. Falls on top of that one at the 28-yard line, and that's going to bring out Jackson Patron and the rest of this Princeton offense for its second possession of the game.
Yeah, now you're really starting to see the wind play factor here. You're seeing some umbrellas go inside out. You're seeing so now it'll be interesting to see how this affects the throwing game too when you got this kind of wind, how much they're going to trust their quarterbacks.
And that's one of the things you got to look for right here. It's how much can you trust the quarterbacks in this weather. You see, do they have a Gabriel Mitchell-White on the other side? They have dynamic receivers, but do they have that guy that can make something out of completely nothing? That remains to be answered for us, but if you have that, that's going to be hard for Lawrence to stop. But once again, Gabriel Mitchell-White's on the defensive side of the ball. And Patron takes the snap. He tries to run a play action and absolutely nothing going, and he'll be swallowed up by looked like Amir Rowell and Condra Soto were in the backfield to blow up that play.
Really good start here for the Lawrence defensive line. You're seeing a lot of them crash in the pocket, and from both sides there, forced him up. Then good job for the boys in the interior to get to him quickly, which I believe was a loss of a yard, sack for a yard.
And that's going to make it 2nd and 11, and that's the type of plays you need to look at. You need to keep running. You need to keep winning in the trenches. We talk about it pregame. We talk about every game. Winning in the trenches is key to football. Can you stop Hui? Can you stop this entire offense? Patron now lined up in the shotgun, one receiver to the right, one receiver to the left. He hands it off to Puy, who tries to cut it back to the left side, and he'll be wrapped up by a litany of Cardinals defenders. It looked like 4 or 5 men there on that tackle on the short game.
I'll tell you, it looked like he was pushing that pile for a while just to even get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Still waiting to see what the exact placement is, but really hot start for the Lawrence defense. 3rd and 9 is the official call.
And every time we talk about that hot start, I always get those flashbacks to whether it's the West Windsor-Plainsboro game, the Northern Burlington game 2 weeks ago, plenty of the other games where these 3rd and long situations were really the Achilles heel of this Cardinals defense.
Well, we'll see, because it looks like now you're seeing the corner, so it looks like Gabriel Mitchell-White is following their number 1 receiver. We've seen him now play both sides of the field.
And Patron takes the snap. He's looking to the left side. He hits his receiver, and that is going to be a 1st down and then some. Hits his tight end, who leaked out of the backfield on that one, and that's going to be a 1st down and then some.
Nice job here by the quarterback doing opposite side rollout to his left, being right-handed. Finds his open man, lets him turn up the field for an additional 5.
And that looked like that might have been Jaden Johnson on that one. He leaked out of the tight end spot on that play, and he gets the 1st down.
Number 4.
Now Patron in the shotgun once again. Everaldo Serville lined up on the right side. The handoff goes to Puy. Puy looked like he might have had a hole for a second as he cut back to the right side, but the sophomore defensive end, Alexander Fernandez, wraps him up and takes him down for a moderate gain of 3 yards.
Interesting play there, but good job by Lawrence to fill the gaps quickly. Looked like one of the Princeton defenders was down there as a downfield blocker and accidentally blocked the ref instead of a Cardinal. Don't see that every day.
You don't see that every day. Wish we had a little bit of video, that some Sports Center maybe action,
yeah.
A little bit of comedy on Twitter.
Shout out to the ref for being a good sport about it too. You knew it was an accident.
He could have maybe hit him with a swim move or something. But now we got Patron here, 2nd and 6 situation after the stop. Looks like they're going to run an option play.
Ball's out.
They try to run the option, and the running back, Puy, was unable to field the ball, and that's going to move them back 5 yards to make this a 3rd and 11. Really bad mistake there for Princeton, but a really good break for the Cardinals.
This is where the weather comes into play here. I mean, you see the pitch outside, maybe a bit of a interesting call instead of just a handoff, but when you're letting the pigskin fly in the open air, it's always a wild card with this kind of weather.
42-yard line. And now 3rd and 13. We talked about how these 3rd and longs kill Lawrence, but if you're even looking at this from the Princeton point of view, what do you run in this weather where it's so hard for you to field the ball?
Honestly, I mean, you want to have at least one guy run the route out to the first down marker just to have that. But outside of that, maybe put in a nice check down option to your running back or someone you trust.
And
that ball's just dropped.
That one, Patron, they run another play action similar to what they did to get the last first down. They had Patron rolls to the right side, tries to hit his tight end leaking to the flat, to the outside, and just unable to. The ball's slippery out here. The weather's bad. It's misty, and just the drops are killing Princeton here early on.
It's probably something that could affect Lawrence similar, depending on what their game plan is. But like I said, this is fun to watch teams try to figure it out in inclement weather like this. As we see now, 2 guys back to return the punt, GMW, and I cannot tell who the other person is.
That is Armando Rosario.
Armando Rosario,
number 12. Now he's running off the field, no flag or anything.
Wow, what?
GMW immediately calls for a fair catch. He bobbles it, but they blow it dead, and that's going to be down at the 16-yard line. You talked about how hard it's going to be to field catch this ball. That might not be more seen than in these punt return games. Then when that ball gets kicked into the bright lights and comes down slippery and fast.
It really is hard. And at the end of the day, if you're the coach, you're just satisfied with keeping possession after a punt. So you might get to the point where Radish, depending on how much rain comes on, he tells him, look, just fall on the ball. Just fall on the ball.
And we saw it a couple, I believe it was the Northern Burlington game 2 weeks ago, where they didn't run a punt returner one time. They just ran a full punt block. Wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing that. Maybe try to affect the punter, throw him off his game, and maybe try to force a whiffed punt.
Depending on the field position, it actually makes a lot of sense.
And now the first handoff of the drive was handed off to Condra Soto, but there's a flag immediately before the play.
Looks like a false start.
That's going to be a false start. That's going to back Lawrence up from the 16-yard line to the 11 and make this one a 1st and 15. The Cardinals lead 7-0 here with 6:21 here in the first quarter against the Princeton Tigers on their home field. Seeing right now each coach has a hood up. Anyone who can has a hood up. That includes us in the booth, even with our protection. I'm trying to get rained on as little as possible. And now we're seeing Decker break the huddle. We'll see what kind of formation we get right here. Artie Stubbs, the tight end, lining up to the left side. Very sure-handed. We'll see if they try to target him just as much as with this rain. Decker moves Gabriel Mitchell-White in motion, hands the ball to Soto. Soto's lowering his shoulder. He looks like he gets a few yards back from the penalty, but that's going to make it a 2nd and 11 as his run up the middle is stopped by a gain of 4 yards.
2nd and manageable now after that. Well, not necessarily manageable, but anything better than a potentially 3rd and 15 works for you. But if you're Lawrence, even with long field position, you got the lead at this point. You don't want to do anything too fancy. So if you can take the yards on the ground, you take the yards on the ground.
And that stop was made by the big defensive end, Jake Richter. Jake Richter, and that's going to be another screen pass on this 2nd 11 to Gabriel Mitchell-White. He makes a man or two miss, and he's going to get a nice gain of 6 yards right there. Take it down to the 22-yard or the 23-yard line, make that 7 yards. And that's going to make this one a 3rd and 4. After that 1st and 15, good job by Lawrence to make this a 3rd and manageable situation.
Nice job by Mitchell-White there to again make that pass in the corner, turn his body well, and throw out that nasty stiff arm for an extra yard.
And now you're seeing Phil McCall check into the game, the big fullback. Wouldn't be shocked if they really try to run this one with Soto and have him power his way towards a first down.
Maybe. You got your 2 big dogs in the backfield. This is what you brought him in for.
They line up McCall at the tight end spot on the right side. Soto in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. The ball goes over Decker's head on the snap. He scoops it up right away, but he'll be taken down back near his own 5-yard line with Giovanni Brogel out. Punting from your own 5-yard line, very uncomfortable situation now. 4th and 20 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting to see who comes out to punt, if it's going to be the same player or not.
It looks like it might be Decker, as a matter of fact.
I think it is. Okay, we haven't. Well, maybe shades of Randall Cunningham out here.
Wouldn't be. I mean, I believe Decker took a punt last week after Brogel's injury, but you just saw, like, with the snap, we just saw that could be a little bit hairy. But before we even get the snap off, there's going to be an offsides call on Princeton. It looked like one of their men tried to jump into the backfield a little bit too early, and will be called for encroachment, bringing this one up to the looks like probably 10-yard line.
That's good for Decker. Got a little bit more breathing room now in the end zone, so now he won't be punting from his own end zone.
Waiting for the official call right here. Not sure what the conversation's about. To be honest, from the booth, it looked like a fairly blatant offsides call. But I guess, Matt, obviously, we're not out there on the field right now, but if you're the special teams coordinator, if you're Coach Radis, how kind of nervous are you about this punt that you're about to see?
I don't want to say nervous because at the end of the day you trust your players, but it's definitely something that you double take in your head. You have to take into account because you can see under the lights now all the rain and just the wind. It's definitely not the most ideal environment, but it's part of football. It's part of playing outdoors, so you got to be ready for anything.
That moves the ball up to the 14-yard line. Decker now will be around
his goal line.
Will be a step in front of his goal line. One bad snap right here. We could be looking at a safety or some points going the other way. Decker fields the snap cleanly. He gets the boot off right before the block. That ball will bounce at the 41-yard line and will trickle all the way down slightly across midfield.
Okay.
So good job by Decker. Pressure in his face. He still gets off a 37-yard punt, and that will give the ball back to Princeton with 4 minutes left in the first quarter at their own 49-yard line.
We'll take it. Really good job by Deckert there just to get that ball across midfield. That's a huge win, especially considering how well your defense has been playing to start off this game.
How bad that could have went and how bad that almost went, to be able to get that punt off, be able to flip that field position to where they have to get a few first downs to score on you. That's a win in every book right now.
Yeah, now the special teams coach will take a bit of a breath for a few minutes. As we see now, 1st and 10 from actually what is marked as the 49-yard line. So 61 yards to go for Princeton.
Patron takes a snap. He's looking to the left side. He hits Everaldo Serville. Dante Bastian gets him out of bounds after a gain of 11 yards. Good work by Serville right there. Do something similar to what Gabriel Mitchell-White did. Get the ball, cut up to the outside, and he gets a first down.
It's a bit of a tough play there for Bastian to make, because one, he's got a guy a few inches taller than him. Plus the rain also makes it hard to get a grip on these guys. But good job just to push him out of bounds and make sure he didn't get more yards.
Yeah, you see good technique right there. You see him square him up, kind of force him to the outside, force him to make a move. Bastian sticks with him, uses his athleticism, forces him out of bounds, and allows the gain to only be 11 yards.
You'd be surprised how much good technique can help you out.
And
Patron, really showed dividend there.
Patron in the shotgun hands this off to Pui. Pui on his 4th carry of the game, still yet to really break off a big run. This Cardinals run defense really strong tonight, and Pui for the 3rd straight carry only gets a gain of 1 yard.
Really good job here. It seems like the defensive line is awake and well aware, so that's pretty good for this Lawrence defense to have the battle in the trenches winning in their favor early, because in an unorthodox game where the passing game can be a wild card, it really is good to see them have this much control early.
As long as Lawrence doesn't bite themselves in the foot, they keep playing good defense, good things will continue to happen. And now Patron under center, Pui in the backfield, one receiver to the right, one to the left. Patron backs down. He's looking for a man. He doesn't have one. Silva breaks open, and he beats Bastian 4-6. That is going to make the score 7-6. 3:02 left here in the first quarter, and the deep ball hurts the Cardinals again.
That's rough for the Cardinals there. Looks like a couple of defensive linemen got in the backfield. They might have had a shot at a sack or a hit, but quarterback Evades keeps his eyes downfield and gets lucky on a deep pass.
And that's just good quarterback work from Patron right there. You saw the pass rush almost get to him right away. Good work by the Cardinals getting multiple guys in the backfield. He escapes to the left side, keeps his eyes downfield on the run. Honestly, unleashes an absolute dime in stride to Silva. And that's how football works. Usually do good things, the ball has a way to reward you.
Pending an extra point now to make it a tie game.
Waiting on the snap. Snap is clean. The ball is down, and that is going to be good by Jaden Johnson, operating as the extra point kicker for the Princeton Tigers. That is going to make this game 7-7 here with 3:02 left here in the first quarter. A little punch to the mouth to the Cardinals, but we've said it plenty of times all year long. This team is completely resilient.
That they are. So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond on their next drive.
You need to really be able to keep doing what you're doing, because that drive, only reason that last drive ended was because of that fumble. That ball doesn't go over the head of Brandon Decker. They got, after 1st and 15, they get 4 yards one play. That was all they needed to move the chains the play before. Then they get 6 yards the next play. They were on pace the way they were moving the ball to be able to get that first down and really be able to build a drive right there. They keep doing exactly what they were doing. They'll keep getting points on the board.
Yeah, barring any unique situations here, you got to like this team's odds in short yardage situations. I feel like they've been fairly good at that all year. So now GMW, and it looks like Phil McCall is back there with him to serve as an extra blocker. And Dante Bastian right in front of him now.
You're seeing Gabriel Mitchell-White, and actually all year long we've seen either a Jahad Dix or a Meyer Clay in front of Gabriel Mitchell-White at the second return line. This time we're seeing Phil McCall as they attempt an onside kick, and that one looks like it might go Princeton's way. Matt, you said like this team's odd. Any unique situation. Well, we've got a unique situation, an onside kick that is recovered by Brooks Cahill Sanitas, the sophomore, making an impact play right there, and a horrible break for the Cardinals.
Boy, yeah, that was close too. I think the officials are talking and debating of whether or not that went 10 yards, because if it did, it was just barely 10 yards.
Well, it looked like number 62, Will Schuler, was the first one to get his hands on it. It looked like he literally swallowed up the ball, and it might have just been the weather, but the ball literally slipped out of his arms, and then there was just a litany of, just a bunch of Tiger defenders ready to just fall on top of it. Waiting to see exactly what's going on right now. Looks like they're actually giving the ball to the Cardinals, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it looked like one, it didn't go full 10 yards, and that the Cardinal player fell on it looked like.
So I guess they're ruling that he already had full possession before the ball slipped out, because the 10-yard rule kind of becomes invalid as soon as the offensive player touches the ball. So I can only assume that they're ruling that Will Schuler fell on top of the ball, had full possession, and then it slipped.
You're hearing a little booze come from the Princeton sideline, but honestly, from where we were sitting, I mean, granted, we don't have the best angle sometimes. I think that might be the right call.
And if you're Coach Radis, you're definitely thinking that's the right call,
Absolutely.
at least in your mind. Now Decker with Dane Bates as at fullback, the freshman tight end, lined up at fullback this play. Running back and two receivers. He throws the screen to Gabriel Mitchell-White, third time tonight. Mitchell-White's got a little bit of room. He's going to get a gain of 12 yards down to the 40-yard line. Good work by GMW, his third catch of the night. And that's going to bring him over the 90, or close to the 90-yard mark.
Gotta say, GMW is running well like a possessed man early on. Lowers his shoulder for a few extra yards on that one.
He gets the first down, and like we said, this team keeps playing simple. They keep doing their thing. You have to like their odds in this game. Just keep getting the first downs, keep milking the clock, keep playing smart football. Good things are going to happen.
Don't overthink it. Just keep sticking to what's working for you, and it looks like that's what Lawrence is doing.
We see Decker briefly come over to talk to Radis, seeing the huddle break now. Condra Soto in the backfield. Dane Bates once again at the fullback. Artie Stubbs lined up on the left side at the tight end spot. Both receivers split to the right. Play action. Decker's looking for a receiver. He's got Artie Stubbs.
Little bit overthrown,
but really good work by the quarterback for Princeton. Jackson Patron doubled up at the safety spot to close down on Stubbs late and eliminate any chance at a nice one-handed catch.
Wow, how about that? But still, good effort there by Stubbs to get his hand out. Probably wasn't going to come down with it either way, but still making the effort. Good job by Gabriel Mitchell-White, or excuse me, Brandon Decker, to keep his eyes downfield. So he's saying GMW's name today, but good job for QB9 to keep his eyes downfield. Look for the best option, puts in a spot where only his receiver can get it.
It was a really nice throw, really nice lofted ball too. That getting that throw in this weather is difficult, but good work by Decker to get that nonetheless. Now we're seeing Mitchell-White split out as the lone receiver as Meyer Clay gets the handoff. He breaks one tackle. He falls down as a result. See him thrown. Somebody grabbed his jersey in the backfield, tried to throw him down, and he kept his feet moving for another 8 yards off balance before.
In a layman's term, it took him 8 yards to fall down, I guess, is what I would say. But really good job by Clay to keep his balance there and get what looked like almost a first down. I think they're going to call it 3 yards to go still, I think.
Still, really good work by Clay. Nice 7 yards after first contact there. That's a really good thing on the stat sheet, and that makes this a third and manageable situation.
Now Phil McCall in at fullback.
Ball gets handed off to Condra Soto this time. A little bit of a hop step, but
should be a first down.
It's going to be a close one right there. They're going to mark him around half a yard short.
Okay.
Now, fourth and short situation from the 31-yard line. A little bit under a minute 30 left to go here in the first quarter.
No surprise Deckert's not coming off the field here.
Obvious four-down territory the way this
especially without Brogel.
Without Brogel, the way this Cardinals team's played all season long. We've said it since pretty much every game. What do you have to lose? Go all in all the time.
Go all in. And now you have three guys in the backfield, so you might see quarterback sneak here.
Deckard actually hands the ball to Soto, and Soto's got space. Soto is gone. Creative play call. What a call by Coach Rob Radis. You line up with three men in the backfield, two fullbacks, looking like an obvious QB sneak situation. What do? You hand it off to your power back. You see your offense does its job, spreads the defense. Soto, big power back, powers through the offensive line for a 31-yard score.
Look, it's one of the things that can come back to bite you when you really commit to a short yardage, all-out blitz. When the guys are just going full speed at the line, if your running back finds a little crevice and breaks too quickly, there's no one at the second level to get him. So in that situation there, good job by the offensive line, and there's the Red Sea parts for Soto.
And that is going to be another good extra point for Will Schuler. And as we're talking about the short yard situation, just move the chains. Big touchdown for the Cardinals, and they now lead 14-7 with 58 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Ooh, rock and roll. Cardinals off to a hot start.
Like the Red Sea reference with the red jerseys. Don't think I didn't notice the pun you tried to pull out there, Matt.
That actually wasn't intentional, but because I was thinking like Red Sea be the other team that parts, but I guess it works both ways.
That'd be a good name for the student section here. I don't know if they have a name here, but that'd be an awesome name.
Yeah.
And now 14-7, 58 seconds left. That is the momentum turner you kind of need. And now, Matt, 58 seconds, like I just said here, left in the first quarter. What are you really looking for? How do you really want to end this one?
I guess for the most part is you're probably not going to see Princeton be too aggressive on this drive with under a minute to go in the first quarter. So what you're hoping for here is just a clean kickoff, give them a good field position, just let your defense go and continue to have the hot seat. Because barring that one big play, they've been phenomenal tonight.
That's incredibly true. I think that other than the 139-yard touchdown, I think we've seen one play more than 10 yards in this first quarter. Now Schuler lining up for the kickoff, and good work by the Cardinals after they get the break on the onside kicks to take advantage of the breaks that have been going their way. Schuler lining up for the kickoff. 5 men to the right, 5 men to the left. As always, 2 return men deep. Schuler kicks that one low. It's fielded by Pui. Pui tries to break to the right side, and he'll be wrapped up by Dante Bastian at the 42-yard line. And that's going to bring out Jackson Petrone and the rest of this Princeton offense with 42 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Seems like the go-to game plan for Lawrence is to go with squib kicks and just hope that they bobble it in the rain, which is a smart call, honestly. As Princeton takes over what looks like about the 42, 43-yard line.
Princeton 43-yard line.
And now we're still waiting for the first snap on this one, but we're seeing really good work from this defense so far. One thing you have to look at is the Dante Bastian matchup. We've seen Everaldo Serville beat him a couple times. Do they keep? Now it looks like they're actually going to double up on him.
So it looks like they're almost going to put Bastian in a high safety now. And I can't tell who that is.
Sutton, and that's going to be the first snap. Petrone looking to the right side.
And Sutton makes the play.
Sutton comes up, makes the stop. Really good work by him. Petrone rolls out to the right side, tries to scramble. Sutton breaks off the receiver, and he makes a really nice stop there on Petrone for no gain on that play.
Looks like that might have been a bit of one step ahead where they had Sutton out to face him. I think the plan was for him to rush regardless. As soon as the ball snap, jumps out of his way, gets into the backfield. Don't think the quarterback was expecting it. As a result, he tried to cut in but had nowhere to go.
And once again, really good work by that defensive line, by the 7 guys behind the defensive line as well. Saw Alexander Fernandez on that play. He's really elevated himself at that defensive end spot over the past couple of weeks. So good work by them so far. Petrone takes a snap, hands it off to Pui. Pui's looking for the outside. He might have it. He's making a bunch of little moves, making a couple men miss, and he'll finally be taken down by a couple Cardinals defenders. Probably, it looks like that one's going to be a first down. That is going to be a first down at the Cardinals' 48-yard line. But before that, the clock struck 0 here at the end of the first quarter. The Cardinals lead 14-7. But don't go anywhere because we'll be back for a second quarter of Lawrence Cardinal football right here on 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC 1.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Go running. You got twins over here. You got twins. All right, we're good. 2 back. This is option. This is option. All right. They picked up 2. Yeah. Hey, he cut back inside almost immediately.
Jackson Petrone on the keeper. Rear Rowell made the stop for the Cardinals. Second and 8 for the Tigers.
I got 2 over there, split box again.
You're listening You're listening to the Lawrence Cardinals play football on 107.7 The Bronx, WRC1. I'm Sean Chonabroff here with Matt Mitten. We are 2 plays into the second quarter right now, 11 minutes left. And just so you know what you missed, we have seen a combined 6 yards, 2 straight running plays for the Princeton Tigers, who are trailing the Lawrence Cardinals 14-7 so far. And now the Tigers face a 3rd and 4 situation. So what would you be looking for right here, Matt?
Well, you're looking at 3rd and 4, so I would either, honestly, given how much the rain's coming down, you might see another run here, but it looks like they're going to line up in the shotgun, or no, actually, yes, it is a shotgun. It looks like they were lining up in the pistol for a second, but they run their man off the field, and then I think there's a timeout now. Some miscommunication there.
And now with that timeout, I mean, you don't want to go down 14 here, or you don't want to risk, giving the ball back and going down 14 here if you're Princeton. But if you're Coach Radis, the one thing we feel like this team has, or I at least feel like this team hasn't been able to do, they haven't been able to be deadly, I'll say. They haven't had that killer instinct on these 3rd down situations. Get your defense off the field. Your offense has been hard to stop through 2 drives, or through 2 of their 3 drives. Have that killer instinct. Get your defense off. Get your offense back on and let them go get you up 2 possessions.
I think part of that might be here, if I'm the defensive coach for Lawrence, what I would tell one of my guys is, if it's a pass play and you see which way, the quarterback's probably going to do a rollout play here, and whichever defensive end is there, try to keep contained as best you can, and the other guy come in for the rush here, because you don't want to let your quarterback potentially scramble for this 1st down. You can see him do a shovel pass or go down the field. Try to keep contained here if you're the defensive ends.
Jackson Patron, the quarterback for Princeton, extremely talented, experienced veteran guy. Also a very mobile guy as well, so definitely want to try to keep contained on him. But we're seeing him line up with 2 men in the backfield right now, something we've yet to really see from Princeton tonight.
Now motion.
Patron motions 1 man out. The running back he motioned out will be covered. And like you said, Matt, you want to keep contained, and Patron's got a 1st down to the 32-yard line, but I believe I saw some laundry fly onto the field right there.
Still waiting to see what the call is. That's tough for Lawrence. I couldn't tell who was coming in the defensive end from the strong side there, but you see their quarterback rolls out to his left, plants his foot, turns around the other side, so they weren't keeping contained in that way because they thought he was running. So a little bit of miscommunication there, but it's coming back either way.
That was a holding call against Princeton. Looked like maybe it was that defensive end on the right side. I believe it's usually Condra Soto lined up there in those situations.
It might have been. I couldn't get a read on the number.
And Soto wasn't really able to go out there and chase like he normally is, so maybe he was one of the guys grabbed on that play. Don't know. I really couldn't see a holding call from my vantage point. Doesn't mean there wasn't one. Like we always say, don't always have perfect angles here in the booth. Now 3rd and 14 situation. You gave up a touchdown on a 3rd and 9. Need to stop the long ball right here.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see how far off they let their defensive backs play off the line. It looks like Gabriel Mitchell-White playing almost, looks like 8 or 9 yards back.
And Patron receives the snap, fakes the handoff. He's dropping deep on that one. They're running a screen pass, and that is going to be incomplete. Tried to hit the sophomore Tyler Goldberg, number 5, but that ball falls harmlessly to the ground, and that holding penalty is a huge benefit to the Cardinals as the Tigers come out to punt.
Nice little swing there for the Cardinals, and now you're seeing GMW back. He's muffed both punts, but not necessarily his fault because of the weather. It's going to be interesting to see how this punt plays out. If they tell him just to fall on it or let it bounce. We'll see.
You also have to kind of judge how quick, do you feel that pressure coming on you? Because if you had that space, you might be more likely, but that ball goes way over the punter's head.
Hold contained.
Hold contained, they do hold, and that is still a booted ball.
Let it go, Gabe.
And Gabe lets that go. The punter, Jaden Johnson, ends up picking that punt from his 20-yard line. He picks the ball up a little bit in front of his own 20-yard line.
I was just going to say, when you're returning a punt, it's got to be a lot of heads-up plays there, but that also shows for the punter. Snap goes a little bit over his head. Good job for him to find the ball quickly, pick it up, and then just get it off his foot with 2 Cardinals running at him at full speed.
Kind of surprised because Aiden Fernandez, Amir Sutton both got in the backfield right there, and they kind of, as the punter went off to get that, they kind of did exactly what you said. They played natural contained. They looked like they didn't want to let him run around. They just said, okay, go punt the ball, didn't risk the broken play. And honestly, a lot of guys panic in that situation. Johnson still completely flipped the field. He punted the ball inside the Cardinals' 20, and Deckard starts with the ball at his own 19-yard line. Still probably a productive play on paper if you're Princeton. Deckard lines up with a fullback and a running back. Gabriel Mitchell-White in motion from the right to the left side. play action. Mitchell White cutting on a slant route, but Deckard hits Bates to the outside, and we'll see if he looks like he did in fact get the first down. Nice contribution from the freshman in the fullback spot on that play.
Nice job there for a good pickup. And it looks like there's an injured player down.
Haven't seen Bates get up yet. Actually, no, I see Bates down right. You see Bates right there. From our vantage point, really can't tell who's injured from this perspective. But while trainers are attending to the injured player,
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
And Matt, as we sit here, a little more than 3 minutes into this second quarter, or almost 3 minutes in the second quarter, what has really stood out for you so far?
I have to say the defensive line for the Cardinals. It seems like they've allowed almost no running lanes for Princeton to work with here. Combine that with the offense, for the most part, given the situation, playing semi-clean football. It really has been an all-around good effort from this team. So now the clock is reset to 9:04. So we are about 3 minutes in now.
Deckard takes the snap. He hands this one off to Dante Bastian. Bastian's got a hole, and he lowers his shoulder and gets a really nice gain on that one. Looks like he gets a gain of 10.5 yards. It looks like they're going to give him a first. Looks like we're waiting. They will give him a first down on that play. Little Saquon, as they call him. Bastian, short, compact frame, but when he gets going, he really knows how to use it.
He really does know how to make shifts and read the running lanes really well. And he's not afraid, even if he is tiny, he's not afraid to put his shoulder down.
Saw him put his shoulder down, get an extra few yards right there, and get the Cardinals a first down from their own 39-yard line. Deckard takes the snap, feeds it to Bastian one more time. He cuts a little bit to the left, finds himself a hole, and it looks like that's going to be another gain of 11 yards down to the 50-yard line, and another first down.
2 runs, 2 first downs for Lil Saquon. Seems like he's starting to take over.
We've seen these glimpses out of Bastian where you'll see him go on like one really nice run, but when he's able to really materialize run after run, when he's able to really be that brutal back that he has the capability of being, it opens up this passing game for Lawrence so much more. Armando Rosario, the receiver, split out to the right. Gabriel Mitchell-White to the left. Dane Bates at fullback. Bastian in the backfield. Armando Rosario called offsides. Looked like he might have, or false start, looked like he might have just slipped on that one as he was getting set, and that's going to be a loss of 5 yards. But going back to Bastian, you said a pregame a lot. You want to get that power running game going with Condra Soto, be able to lower your shoulder, wear down this defense, but you're seeing exactly that from Bastian right now as well.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let him keep doing it. So now some rain's starting to blow into our booth a little bit.
It's definitely not perfect football weather, as we've been lucky to have so many times this year. Decker hands off to Bastian one more time, navigates the running lanes well, and he'll get a gain of 9 yards right there, and that's going to make it a 2nd and 6 situation for them.
Well, second and manageable.
It's like a 2nd and 4. That's like getting a 4-yard gain on first down, basically, and that's never a bad way to start off your.
No, ideally on first down, you want to look for 4 or more.
You want to look for 4 or 5 yards. You want to be in a situation where you can maybe afford not to get 4 yards on second down and and have a manageable third down nonetheless. Seeing Gabriel Mitchell-White and Armando Rosario stacked to the right side here. Nonetheless, the ball goes back to Bastian one more time. He makes a slight hesitation move, goes up the middle, and he gets a gain of 8, or 7 as a matter of fact, for another Cardinals first down. Lil Saquon moving the chains, but we do have a Princeton Tigers defender down on the field.
Now back up immediately, it looks like.
Immediately back up, so that's always a good sign to see.
Looks like they're going to pull him off the field, though.
He's going to be taken off the field and subbed out. That was number 24, Faisal Al-Kassab, the defensive end on that play.
For what looks like Brooks Khalil Sandias subbing in.
Number 33. Now Condra Soto back in the game in the backfield. He gets the handoff from Decker. Yet another running play. He breaks his second tackle of the run right there, and that's going to be a gain of probably 7 yards, and that's going to make it a 2nd and 3 as the Cardinals continue to just punish this Tigers defense on the ground.
There's the big dog doing big dog things there, putting his shoulder down, moving the chains. Really good job by Lawrence. So it seems like they've been running the ball really well this entire drive. I mean, Bastian almost having all the yards in this drive by himself.
And we've talked about you need to win the battle of the trenches. Lawrence recognized that advantage, bad weather. They're going to continue hammering that one home. Deckard hands off to Soto one more time, but he's immediately wrapped up by one of the defensive ends on that play. Could have been Ben Boyd and Bailey possibly, or couldn't tell that was possibly Giancarlo Momo, number 52.
Still a nice power run up there for a few yards, looking at what looks like 3rd and 4 here. Now, they've been running the ball well, but it's going to be interesting to see if they put Gabriel Mitchell-White out wide by himself and go with a play-action pass to him.
Wouldn't be shocked if even you see Gabriel Mitchell, actually Mitchell-White's completely off the field on this play. Seeing Artie Stubbs and Phil McCall, same situation we saw on that touchdown run for Condra Soto. They go back to that play one more time, and it works one more time. Soto's still rumbling.
Hold on to that ball.
He gets a gain of 11 yards from the 34 to the 22-yard line, or 23-yard line. Soto keeps rumbling, and the chains are once again moved.
Boy, this is a really good job by this Cardinals offensive line. I mean, by no means are the Princeton defensive linemen small, but it just seems like they've been dominating every single play at the line of scrimmage.
And now 1st and 10 from the 23, bordering on red zone territory. The Cardinals start inside their own 20, have basically run the ball for the past 6 plays and marched extremely efficiently. But Decker takes a snap, hands off to Soto on the left side. Soto's got a little bit of a hole, but he'll be taken down after a gain of 6 yards right there. And that'll make it 2nd and 4, and once again, an efficient 2nd down run.
Nice efficient 2nd down run. Really good to see from Lawrence, just absolutely controlling, 1, the clock, and 2, the ground game on this drive. So we're looking at about 4.5 minutes to go in the first half.
And getting points while, maybe going up 2 scores while milking the clock, extremely good way for this drive to go. Bastian gets the handoff on that play. He's got a little bit of a lane, but he gets stood up by a Princeton defender. And that's going to make this one a 3rd and short after a gain of 4 yards on that 2nd and 5. Bastian moves, almost moves the chains, but that's going to make it a 3rd and short situation.
Now they're calling in Condra Soto to come in for the big package. Still waiting on them to take up the line of scrimmage.
Also, I got to give credit to the coaches here. A lot of times you might see the coaches, force the ball on a guy like Gabriel Mitchell-White's hands on this drive.
They really haven't been at all. I mean, even saw him come off for a play for a big package run, which worked out well.
He's been off the past couple plays, as a matter of fact. They've just been using this formation. Actually, you roll the Bastian run now a 1st down, so that's going to make it 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Same package, Amir Sutton, Phil McCall at fullback, Condra Soto as the back, and 2 tight ends. Soto gets the ball to the right side. He's got a couple yards for himself right there, but he'll be taken down at the 8-yard line. Gain of 5 on that 1st down, and I keep repeating myself, but efficient 1st down run. The Cardinals are mowing down the clock as we go under the 3:30 mark here in the first half, but they're doing it efficiently and smartly.
Yeah, maybe we should have been playing rainy games all year long, but really good job by them to control the run this entire drive. They got Soto in there for 1 more pounding. Trying to see if they can move it a little bit closer. They're on what looks like the 8-yard line, 6 yards to go.
Artie Stubbs, Dane Bates, the 2 tight ends, and before they run this play with 3:07 left, Princeton takes their 2nd time out of the first half, probably just to give their defense just somewhat of a break at this point.
Yeah.
Just
smart call there.
Absolutely grueling, honestly grueling work by the Cardinals on this drive. Offensive line, each play coming out with intimidation, with intensity, and that's just only matched by the running backs, whether Bastian, Soto, or even the fullbacks leading the way. Just absolutely brutal, hard, good drive for the Cardinals.
Really good drive for the Cardinals indeed.
So, Matt, let me ask you a little bit your philosophy right here. A lot of coaches, they might try to bring out something different because obviously you're going to see some adjustments probably made here by the defense. Are you a it ain't broke, don't fix it yet person, or are you maybe trying to get your tight ends to leak out and maybe set up a passing touchdown for Decker?
For now, I think at least this play I'm still running. I'm going to go with another run here. I mean, it's been working the entire drive. Might as well see it through. You just got to get down to the 2-yard line here. Looks like they're going with the big package again with Soto and 2 blockers in front of him.
Decker gets the ball, he hands off to Soto. Soto looks like might have a 1st down. He keeps moving, and the big man rumbles. They can't bring him down. 3 men on Condra Soto, and he shakes each and every single one off to push the Cardinals up 20-7 on his 2nd touchdown of the day.
Looks like he even carried a man into the end zone with him there. Really nice run there for Soto. Because at first I thought, okay, looks like he might have a couple yards. I'm like, no, he's got the 1st down. No, he's got the touchdown now. Just keeps his leg churning, low man wins.
You could probably hear that play progress. I'm like, oh, Soto's wrapped up. He might chuck for the 1st down. Definitely got the 1st down. Oh, he's actually got the touchdown. Really good, hard running by the Cardinals on this drive, and great work by Condra Soto to punch the ball into the end zone for the 2nd time. Schuler on his 3rd extra point of the night hits that one wide right. But nonetheless, the Cardinals not only milk more than 6 minutes of clock on that drive, but they get 6 points in the process.
So now you're looking at a 2-possession lead for Lawrence with just under 3 to go. Good position here for Lawrence going into halftime, even to receive the ball at the second half.
Really nice work by the Cardinals right there, and obviously we sound like a broken record, but this might be the best first half of football we've seen from them all season long. Good work on offense. The defense has been extremely strong outside of really one play. Honestly, just well-rounded football. We saw the Pemberton performance. They were a little bit shakier than they have been. This game, I think, has been their best first half of football.
Keep playing your game. That's what you got to do.
And now Schuler back onto the field for his 4th kickoff of the first half, as the Cardinals keep giving him work to do because they keep on scoring so far. 20-7 here, 2:59 left in the second quarter. Remember, guys, while there will be a halftime break, stay tuned for our halftime breakdown. As if the game stays as is, we'll have a lot of good things to say about the Cardinals. Schuler breaks the huddle. Seeing the Princeton guys now retreat, I guess they're no longer wary of an onside kick. Will Schuler puts his hands up, hits this one low and hard once again. Ball bounces, fielded at the 28-yard line, and not a bad return there for what looked like one of the linemen from the Cardinals, or not the Cardinals, the Tigers that picked it up. A gain of 11 yards to the 39-yard line, and not bad field position for Princeton to start this drive off.
Shades of Dan Connolly fielding a squib kick against the Packers on that one, but good job for him to read the lanes well and just put his shoulders down.
Matt, can I just compliment your obscure football references for a second?
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I mean, I know a lot of the random old clips. Just like that one of just seeing that big man with the loaf of bread carrying that plate. It's a classic one. But in all honesty here, good job by him. Quick awareness to pick it up and make his way down the field.
And now we're seeing Jackson Peterson, the rest of this Jackson Patron and the rest of the Princeton offense back onto the field. One running back, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Patron's get back to pass. He's looking for his man. Ball floated up a little bit, but it gets in the hands of Jaden Johnson. Or actually, that was Jaden Johnson. Yes, that's exactly who it was. And that's going to be a gain of 5 yards and make it 2nd and 5.
So definitely one of the better plays we've seen from Princeton recently. Looked like the ball was sailing in the air a little bit. Looked like there might have been a shot for it to have been picked off, but still holding them to a 5-yard gain on first down.
Just a nice touch pass right there. There was a man in the secondary in the area. There was a thought in my head like, oh, this one might be going back the other way for 6. But nope, it finds the receiver's hands, and that's going to make it 2nd and 5. And good job by the Cardinals.
Actually
not
looks like
big game.
2nd and 4, actually. It was a 6-yard gain. They changed it last second. It looked like, flag's out.
Kind of confused what happened there because Patron literally fell on top of the ball. It looks like there might have been a snap, and then a Cardinals defender also ran up to try to recover it. Don't know if there was the ball slipped, miscommunication on the snap, but now flags are out. Looks like there might have been an injury for a second, but luckily everybody's okay. But that is going to be a false start, and that's going to make it a 2nd and 9. We saw the holding call before after a productive play for Princeton as on their last drive. Now in this drive, good first down play. They get a hold. Sloppy football, undisciplined football. That bodes well for the Cardinals in this one.
Good break there for Lawrence again. Now to see a 2nd and 9 instead of a 2nd and 5. Dante Bastion checking in last second here.
Dante Bastion once again lined up in more of a safety role as Amir Sutton lines up on the receivers. Patron goes back to pass, and that's going to be a screen pass to Pui. Ball pops out, but they're going to rule it a forward pass. Good call right there from the referees from my perspective, but once again, wet football, defenders in pursuit usually leads to drops.
I like what they're doing here with Amir Sutton lined up out wide at corner. It seems like his main assignment here is just to jam the one-off receiver at the line of scrimmage, give Bastion a little bit more time to get back, then make his way in as a pass rusher here. So good job to try to throw him off his game a little bit.
Hey, he's playing a little bit more of a zonal look, like exactly like you said. The ball gets snapped. Sutton right away puts his hands on what's mostly been a Veraldo Serville on that side. And then, like you said, he gets himself involved in the play. He does what he does best. Be physical, but then be involved because he's got a really good nose for the football.
That he does. Now looking at a 3rd and 9, 90 seconds to go in the first half. 98 seconds, I should say.
Patron gets the snap. He's rolling to the right side, but he's going to be wrapped up by Alexander Fernandez as he tries to skate the pockets before he gets helped by a couple other Cardinals. Radis calls a timeout with 1:30 left here, and that's going to make it 4th and 14.
Really good opportunity here for you to field a punt here, possibly get 3 or even 7 if you're lucky before halftime, but good job by Radis running out almost immediately. It looked like he had to give the timeout signal to the ref a couple times before they finally called it, but good job by him to get on and stop the clock quickly.
And now 4th and 14 situation. Decker, Gabriel Mitchell-White, Dante Basham, the way he's been running, same with Condra Soto. You have the potential for that fireworks and to put yourself up 3 possessions at the end of the first half.
Still waiting on the punt unit for Princeton to come out. GMW obviously heading back to field the punt. No second blocker back there with him.
Saw Armando Rosario out there for one of the earlier punts, but they don't put him out there on that one. Seeing Basham, Meyer, Clay as the side blockers trying to block the Gunners on this one. Punter Jaden Johnson back there once again has a really nice foot, a couple really nice punts in the first half. Johnson gets this one. He gets it off. Really nice hang time on this one. Mitchell White's going to let it bounce. Call a fair catch. He's not even going to touch this one. This ball's going to dribble down to the Cardinals' 14-yard line, and that's going to give Brandon Decker and the rest of this Cardinals team the football with 1:14 left here in the first half.
We'll take it. I mean, keep it control of the ball. Opportunity to go down and add more points. Just be safe here if you're Lawrence. I mean, the running game on that last shot worked really well, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see Radis just come out on the ground and try to run it again.
And you don't need to have this overall sense of urgency. You're up by 13 points. Your offense has been doing well. Your defense has been extremely good. Just don't keep playing your game. If something opens up, something will open up. But there's no need to force anything. There's no need to have an urgency to get points before the half.
Stay in your lane and stick to your game.
Just saw Gabriel Mitchell-White take off one of his gloves and throw it on the sideline.
It's interesting, but sometimes when it's humid and rainy out there, sometimes you just want to have
Decker with the play action. He's got
go.
Gabriel Mitchell-White deep. Decker's going to launch it. He has GMW, and that ball's almost picked off, slightly underthrown. See the effect the rain has right there. Couldn't tell if I saw, looks like I saw a flag on the field. It might be a hold.
There is, I believe, some laundry on the field.
It looks like that's going to be an illegal man downfield penalty. Probably one of the linemen went more than the 3 or 4 yard barrier that most refs throw before Decker released the ball.
That's tough when you have a quarterback who's out there scrambling. You know, at some point your instincts just tell you to keep moving forward and stick with your block. Sometimes you get down there just a little bit further than you're supposed to. But good job. Well, not good job, but good stroke of luck for the Cardinals that that ball wasn't intercepted.
And Decker just saw that one a little bit late. Trust in the arm, gets away with it. You make a mistake or two every game, but when you get away with them, you breathe a sigh of relief and you have the short-term memory.
Absolutely. Just over a minute to go now.
1:09 left in the first half. Ball gets handed off to Condra Soto, who's got a little bit of a lane. He's going to get most of that penalty. He's going to get that penalty yardage back and a little bit more. That's going to make it 2nd and 8 here with now under the 1 minute mark. Wouldn't be shocked if you just see 1 or 2 more run plays and then you just go into the half.
50 seconds now to go. I believe it is at the 18-yard line. Decker rolling out now. Clock's still ticking under 40 seconds. Probably going to see another run play, just reboot and get out of this half.
See Dayton Bates and Condra Soto in the backfield. Gabriel Mitchell-White and Armando Rosario, the receiver to the left side. Decker hands that ball to Condra Soto. He's got a first down and then some. Soto gets taken down at the 30-yard line, and Radis calls a timeout now.
24 seconds to go.
24 seconds to go. 1 timeout left. I think this is the perfect time to bring up the Gabriel Mitchell-White screen pass right here.
It very well might be, or a potential Decker rollout and launch it deep to Gabriel Mitchell-White, whatever they feel more comfortable with. But you have the opportunity here now to take a shot and try to run up, get a spike, or do timeout. So opportunity to add more points on your board before half. Still waiting on both sides to come out.
24 seconds here, and this has really been a good first half for the Cardinals. I know I've said it multiple times, but outside of the one almost interception, Decker's played a borderline impeccable first half. The running game's been amazing. The defense outside of one play been amazing. just an overall great game, a great first half of football. If you're Coach Radis, he's talking to him earlier this week, he talked about how important this last game should be, how much pride this team should come out with, and that's shown in spades in the opening 24 minutes.
That it has. And now with 24 seconds left to go, let's see what they got. Still waiting here.
Deckard now lining up under center. See the defensive backs giving some space. Gabriel Mitchell-White lining up out of the slot. Play action, he's rolling, looking for a man down the field, and Deckard just kind of throws that one down. Flag goes down immediately.
Flag is out.
I doubt that that's an intentional grounding call.
Can't imagine. It looked like Seifer was right in the area.
Looks like a legal man downfield one more time. So that's going to move back the Cardinals one more time. 19 seconds left here in the first half. Now after that penalty, we've seen Amir Sutton check in, Dane Bates check in as well. Armando Rosario, Gabriel Mitchell-White go to the sideline. I think it looks like we're going to see one more run play, and then that's going to be it for the first half.
Looks like it. 19 to go. Still a really good position here for Lawrence.
Deckard gets the snap. He hands this one off to Soto. Soto making that miss. Soto with a first down and some more. Radis calls a timeout right away. 12 seconds left. You have enough time, honestly. You can hit a quick hitter to your Gabriel Mitchell-White, get him out of bounds 5-10 yards, and then take a Hail Mary to the end zone.
You very well could, but good job by Soto again. It seems like he doesn't want this drive to end, dragging guys for 5, maybe 10 yards on that play. I don't know what his yards after contact are today.
His overall yardage, he's probably over the 100-yard mark at this point, considering what he did on that last touchdown drive, his 30-yard touchdown, and then what he's doing at this drive. If he's not over the 100-yard mark, he's pretty dang close to it in this first half.
Looks like it. 12 seconds to go now. I believe Radis called his last timeout on that play.
Yeah, that's probably, yes, that's timeout number 3 right there for Radis and the Cardinals. So now you don't have that option of, if you want to hit someone over the middle, you have to either hope something, if you're going to get something, the guy has to go out of bounds right away, or you just go for the end zone right here. Me personally, like I said, I'm hitting Gabriel Mitchell-White on a quick screen, having him go out of bounds after 7-8 yards, try to get down to the 45 or the 40-yard line, and then Hail Mary after that.
Well, I think the smart call is here. But we'll see. Is Deckard? No, he's not understanding. He's going to go back into the shotgun.
See what we get here. Deckard gets it. They're actually going to drop back. Gabriel Mitchell-White is in there, so QB9's taken off. Deckard's got some
6,
space.
5.
And he gets out of bounds at the 39-yard line with 3 seconds there.
Really good job by him on that scramble. He's got open field, but he actually looks back, sees the clock, knows when he has to get out of bounds. Now with 3 seconds left here, you're looking at a 1st and 10 on about the 40-yard line. Quite possibly throw it up to Gabriel Mitchell-White for a Hail Mary play.
And you don't need to run a pure Hail Mary here. You could run, because of how close you are, you could run Artie Stubbs on a post to the end zone to the other side. You could stack one side. There are creative things you could do on this play call right here that maybe isolate Gabriel Mitchell-White, or maybe give him less defensive attention, or make it less of a 50-50.
Let's see what they go with.
3 receivers to the right side right now. Armando Rosario, Artie Stubbs, and Alexander Fernandez, and Gabriel Mitchell-White, the lone receiver to the left. Deckard gets the ball. He's looking to the right. He steps up. He's going to throw this one to Mitchell-White down the field. Looks like he made it beat the defense. And he's got a touchdown! Gabriel Mitchell-White gets behind them all, and he gets into the end zone. QB9 magic, and that's going to be GMW for TD number 2 in the first half.
Well, great job here by Brandon Deckard. Stops literally an inch behind the line of scrimmage. Gets it off. Gabriel Mitchell-White with just a step on his man. Touchdown number 2 for number 2.
And you saw it right there. We said try to isolate the defenders right there. Isolate Gabriel Mitchell-White. He has 2 men on him, and he beats 2 men very routinely, and you saw it right there once again. Pure fly route. Good work by Deckard. He steps up in the pocket, rolls to the left side, and he finds GMW 4-6. And the Cardinals are actually going to try to make this 28-7 at the half. They're out for 2 right now.
You know, I had a good feeling about that play the whole way through. I didn't want to say anything to jinx it, but I had a good feeling about that.
Deckard rolls out. They take the run, and he's unable to connect with Artie Stubbs. But that is going to take us to the end of the first half. The Lawrence Cardinals lead 26-7 after Gabriel Mitchell-White gets a touchdown as time expires here. Gabriel Mitchell-White with 2 2 scores, Condra Soto with 2 scores, and the Cardinals with a dominant display. And we'll be here to recap it all right here on 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV. You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Welcome to Lawrence Cardinals football and your National Association of Broadcasters 2021 Marconi Award nominee for College Radio Station of the Year. 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1. I am Sean Chonabroff here with Matt Mitten as we prepare for the second half. Right now the scoreboard reads a little more than 2 minutes until kickoff. The Cardinals are facing the Princeton Tigers. Both teams are out on the field getting their limbs ready in this cold, rainy night for the second half. But the Cardinals, amazing first half. If you missed the halftime reporter the entire first half, Lawrence up 26-7. Gabriel Mitchell-White, 2 touchdown passes from Brandon Deckert, and Condra Soto, 2 runs on the ground and probably over 100 yards. And honestly, Gabriel Mitchell-White is well over 100 yards himself. Really big contributions from both guys and a really strong defensive performance in the first half as well.
Just an all-around great performance from both sides of the ball. I mean, you see Soto wrecking havoc on both sides. Gabriel Mitchell-White doing his thing on both sides. Deckert looks locked in. He's throwing the ball really well. Aside from that one, maybe ball that slipped out of his hands in the rain that was almost picked, but for the most part, he's been on target. Offenses look good. All the running backs seem to have found success when they've tried to play him, especially Dante Basham practically carrying him down the field that one drive. Then Condra Soto turning right around and doing it the next drive, combined with their iconic call of Gabriel Mitchell-White's Hail Mary catch. I mean, it just seems like everything that could have gone right for them went right for them.
And that last drive, because that's what really swung the momentum, right? Lawrence was controlling the game in the first half, but now after that Gabriel Mitchell-White, that last drive, they dominated because they had two penalties, I believe, in that drive, because it starts off, okay, you have the first, they have the ball with 1:30, 2 timeouts. They go play action, nothing, incomplete pass. Then they lose a couple yards on a penalty and they go, okay, cool, we're just going to run out the clock. Condra Soto carries him to a first down. Same thing happens again. Condra Soto carries him to another first down out of nowhere, just bruising through this Tiger defense. And then what happens? QB9 Brandon Deckert, when they're at the 50-yard line, he scrambles or when they're at the 40-yard line, he scrambles for a crucial 20 yards. He gets them that first down, puts himself in position for that deep shot, that Hail Mary, and he finds who else but Gabriel Mitchell-White wide open for a touchdown.
Speaking of devil, it looks like number 2 himself is getting ready to head out and return the opening kickoff here. Still waiting on Princeton to send their kicking unit out. We saw earlier Princeton went for an onside kick. Do you think it's a possibility they do it to start the second half? I think so.
I think it's a possibility, but they went for a surprise formation last time. They did the thing that Lawrence did a couple times earlier this season, where they lined up in a group collective.
Yeah, I remember against the Union they brought that out.
It was somewhat like that, and honestly, it was somewhat like reminiscent of the Colts Saints Super Bowl in 2008, I believe it was, or 2009.
That it was. Where Sean Payton going for the 2010. Shout out Trey in the booth giving us that one.
And it's somewhat reminiscent of that play right there, in my opinion, where they just went for that one, and it worked once again. But now without that surprise factor, I'd be surprised if it worked as well.
As of now, we see Princeton send their kicking unit out.
They clap. No surprise onside kick, it looks like this time. Saw the kicker, Jaden Johnson, net yet. I'm still on my toes. Don't worry. They're not going to catch me by surprise. Johnson getting ready to kick this one off, his hand in the air. He does onside kick it, and that one's gonna go out of bounds. got a little hairy there for a second as one of the Cardinals, I couldn't quite tell who was on that right side. I'm still trying to...
There's a last-second flag down now.
Kick out of bounds.
Kick out of bounds, so good break there for Lawrence.
Raul Nayer, number 56, that ball was kicked right to him on the right side. It looked like he might try to pick it up, but honestly, smart decision to this rain. He lets it skirt to the outside and then blocks off any defender from running down to recover.
Really is a good heads-up play from him there. Now we'll see how they respond on this opening drive. Got good field position here. They got all the momentum in the world.
It's gonna. The ball went out of bounds around the 45. We'll see how many yards that penalty is. It's a 5-yard penalty, so that's going to bring it down up to the 50-yard line. Brandon Decker, of 19 points, leads this Cardinals offense out onto the field with only 50 yards to go until Pater.
You know, I want to see them try to get Bates involved here. It seems like they found a way to get Mitchell White, and I wonder how they're going to commit to him in the second half. Could leave the opportunity open for your big body tight end to make a play.
Good, weird play to begin this second half. So Decker went to throw a screen pass to Gabriel Mitchell White, and the ball literally just slips right out of his hands. Good work by Decker, though. He catches the ball before it hits the ground, and he gets a gain of 1 on the play regardless. Looks like we get a little bit of hurry up by the Cardinals to start this second half. Decker gets the snap, hands this one off to Condra Soto. Soto's got a little bit of room. He's going to get a good second effort there, refusing to be stood up. Soto falls forward, and that's going to be a gain of probably 6 yards. Make this one a 3rd and 4.
Picking up right where they left off with Soto, the big man, rumbling for good opening yards to that drive. Still waiting for the exact
See a
mark.
Princeton man coming up a little bit slow. That was actually number 8, Jackson Patrone, who also is the starting quarterback, but he's jogging off the field. Looks like he's replaced by number 7, Rishabah Bajwa.
Actually, I believe, no, they called him out now. It's 32. Can't tell who that is. I think it was 32.
And they go with a tight formation in the backfield. 3 men in the back. Hand it off to Soto, who gets 4 yards down to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be either a first down or 4th and inches. They say the chains. We're waiting for the official mark still.
Should be a first down by the looks of it, but this is exactly what you want to do if you're Lawrence. Control the clock, keep controlling the run game. Let Soto just eat away at this Princeton defense.
And it will in fact, ooh, bad voice crack. It will in fact be a first down there for Soto. He gets a total of 9 yards on that drive to move the chains, and he'll get a play off as a reward as Dante Bastian checks in for him. Quick substitution here for Princeton. They check out they swap a couple of defensive linemen. Dante Bastian at running back, Dane Bates at fullback, Armando Rosario in at wide receiver on the left side, Gabriel Mitchell White to the right. Have Artie Stubbs, yet only 1 target today, 0 receptions at the tight end spot. Decker takes the snap. He hands off to Bastian. Bastian breaks the left side, tries to throw down a stiff arm. He gets thrown out of bounds. No, by the top of the jersey. Don't call that a horse collar, but there is an injury on the play. Can't tell who that is. Can only tell you that it is a Princeton player.
Looked like he went down awkwardly. I believe it looks like a lower body injury.
It looks like a leg injury right now. Can't tell if that was a legs get tied up thing, maybe ankles get rolled. Can't tell exactly what's going on. Players slip in the rain. Hopefully, obviously, no matter if it's Lawrence, if it's the other team, you want every kid on this field to walk out healthy and safe.
Lawrence obviously on 1 knee. Aside from the boys in the huddle, still waiting for an update.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Good news now as we see the injured Princeton player, number 2, walking off the field on his own power. Looked like he might have gotten his legs twisted up, but for the most part, seems like he's okay.
Hopefully we'll see him be able to return later in this one. And now we'll see the Lawrence offense and the Princeton defense back onto the field. Cardinals lead 26-7 with 10:24 left here in the third quarter.
10:15 to go in the third quarter. QB9 under center.
For the Cardinals.
Brandon Decker looking to the left side. He's communicating with Coach Radis, who gives him a quick signal. Might be an audible at the line of scrimmage. Decker drops back to pass. He's looking left to Gabriel Mitchell White. He throws it.
Come on,
Mitchell White gets behind. And the ball is a little bit short. Mitchell White might have lost it in the lights. Almost 6 right there for the Cardinals, though.
It's all right. Tough little break there. Maybe ball had been underthrown, but good job by Mitchell White to get down there, beat two men once again, get open. Ball was just thrown a little bit too low for him.
And now 3rd and 6 situation. I like to call it a deep shot right here, especially in this drive, but at the 36-yard line, you're looking at 4-down territory, so you don't need to push this one for 6 yards right now. Decker gets a snap, gonna hand this off to Soto. Soto is getting dragged down, but he keeps those legs moving, and he'll get a gain of looks like 4 yards to make this one 4th and 2
Man, Soto,
at the 32-yard line.
Soto channel is in beast mode right now. It just keeps on rumbling. It seems like the first guy has not been able to bring him down. I don't know if any of his runs. It seems like it's taken at least more than one person.
And if the first guy does bring him down, it's because he's been dragged for 4 yards in the process.
I'd say so, yeah. Again, I want to know what his yards after contact are. I mean, it just seems like he's been putting his shoulder down, running through everybody.
I want to know what his meal plan is. Like, that's just got to be a lot of strength.
Yeah. Big men make big plays.
And now Soto in the backfield, 2 fullbacks in front of him, hand it off to him one more time. Looks like he's going to get a first down. He gets a small gain right there.
Forward progress, they should give it to him.
Forward progress, looks like he's going to get to around the 29-yard line, waiting on the spot right here to confirm. And they mark it at the 29.5-yard line, and that will, in fact, be a Cardinals first down. Big trenches play, open up enough of a hole, and when you have big man Condra Soto in the backfield, you would tend to get an extra yard or two in the process.
Absolutely.
Now, 1st and 10 situation, we just 29-yard line. Do you go back to the passing game right here, or do you just keep unloading this running game with Dante Bastion now lined up at running back?
I mean, Dante Bastion had more than his fair share of plays in the first half. I say try to keep the clock running, stick on the ground, and just try to get out of here with continued control. But they go with the screen, actually, but that also works too.
Gabriel Mitchell-White gets tripped up by the first man. That was Jackson Peterson, the quarterback/safety. But Mitchell-White still gets a few yards in the process. Looks like he got a gain of 4 right there. That's gonna, or 5 yards. That's gonna make it 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. And like we said plenty of times, efficient first down play, one of the keys to this game.
Yeah, and Lawrence just absolutely dominating the clock this quarter. Now just over 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Still the first drive of the game of the half for Lawrence.
And Dante Bastion gets the handoff. He cuts inside, and he keeps moving. He's going to be close to a first down. They're going to mark him around half a yard short. He cuts a little bit to the inside, shivers his body, and gets a nice 4-yard gain on that run.
Nice run there for Bastion again. He really has done a good job hitting a one cut, planting his foot in the ground, sees the hole right away, darts right through it, picks up 6 or 7 almost every play.
And that's exactly what this Lawrence running attack has been all night. Pick up 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, sometimes get 10, 11, 12. But outside of the Soto touchdown, I don't think we've seen like that 30, 40-yard run. And now
you don't necessarily need a 30, 40-yard run here, though, if you keep on getting 6, 7, 5, you know. As Soto
breaks one a little bit. He gets on 3rd and 1 play from the 21-yard line. Soto breaks it inside the 10, and that's going to give the Cardinals a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Boy, Soto just running like a possessed man the entire night. No, that's not a Halloween joke.
Soto gets the handoff one more time, getting close to touchdown number 3, but he'll be tripped up at the 2-yard line. And that'll be 2nd and goal as the Cardinals are knocking on the door of another touchdown.
Probably going to go back to the run play again here. Do I hear a hat trick for Soto? Let's see if they come out with that big package, because you see Mitchell White coming off the field, so it looks like it.
And Rosario as well, and you saw Amir Sutton, and it looks like Phil McCall check in, so it looks like you might see the big boy package on display.
Let him take it in.
Decker under center, receives the snap, he hands off to Soto.
Of course.
Big man Condra Soto into the end zone for the touchdown. Lowers his shoulder, and he gets in for 6. That'll make the score 32-7 here. 6:24 left in the first quarter as the Cardinals extend their lead.
I got to say, you know, a bit of bad weather. Not a whole lot of students came out. The students, actually, but the ones who did are getting treated to a really good game. Hat trick for Condra Soto on the night.
Will Schuler now out for his 3rd extra point of his 4th extra point of the night.
For the extra point, 10.
Decker receives the snap. He gets the snap. He gets it down, and the kick is slightly wide right.
Optical illusion for us here in the booth. Looked like it might have been good for me at first.
That's that weird angle we're at from the left side.
Classic weird angle.
But that's the effect that the pressure from Princeton has had on those extra points. Schuler's missed two. Both of them, they've gotten multiple men in the backfield able to affect Schuler's kick. But nonetheless, 32-7.
They killed over half of the quarter on that drive alone. We're seeing under 7 minutes to go now. So now we're going to see our first chance to see this Lawrence defense come out in the second half and see if they can carry off the really dominant performance they also had in the first half.
And I could ask you, what are the keys? What should they do? And honestly, I think the only key, tell me if you disagree, is to do exactly what you have been doing the entire time.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, starting with the defensive line, they've had constant pressure at both the run and pass game. And it's hard because sometimes when you're coming in to stop the run versus when you're rushing the passer, the motions go through a little bit different, but they've looked really on point for both situations. Granted, they may have blown contained once or twice at worst. They've given their corners time to work. I mean, I love the Amir Sutton adjustment and put him out wide, let him jam the receiver, let Bastion do the rest.
And you keep doing that, good things will happen. Schuler out here for the kickoff, waiting on him to boot this one down the field. I doubt you see any onside kick situation up by 25.
Probably not, but you might see another squib here because they did do a lot of squibs with the rain. So we'll see what Radis wants to do.
Schuler once again, he just boots this one low and hard. Ball bounces off a defender, or a Princeton Tiger. Returner's reversing field, and he's got a little bit of space. Still on his feet, and he is going to be taken down at the the Princeton 38-yard line after a really nice return there.
So you see, this is common with football. You see, if a player muffs kick on a kickoff, more often than not, it allows them to take time, recover, and make a play. Because sometimes when you're in your lane, sometimes you shift and break apart. Everybody loses their lanes, allows them to bounce outside. But still, really good job by Lawrence to pin them back. What looks like about the 38-yard line.
That return was by Corey Woodson, the freshman. Really nice play right there. And this drive's going to start out with Jackson Patron having to take this one himself, and he'll be once again stuffed after a gain of 3 yards, which is probably one of his longer runs of the first half, or this entire game.
Probably, but once again, the defensive line still holding only 3 yards on first down. That's success. Ideally, if you're the offense, you want to try to pick up 4 yards or more. And if you're a defense, you want to try to hold them to 4 yards or less.
And they hold him to actually only 2 yards on that play. Patron with a receiver to his left, a receiver to his right. We've seen this team utilize the tight end a little bit.
5.5 to go in the quarter.
Patron tries to run the option. Amir Sutton had a chance to chop that play for a short gain. Can't quite take down the running back, but that's going to be close to a first down as Lahemu Pui gets a gain of 7 yards for 3rd and 1.
Looked like Matt Melchior got there on the tackle. Good to finally call his name, as we always say. Seems like he's always in the right spot, but doesn't necessarily get the spotlight on him. He did there.
He always has an effect on the game, whether he's forcing the quarterback to look one way. He's solid in coverage, solid in the run game, just an overall really solid player. And now 3rd and 1, or actually that was a first down, gave the call to Princeton. Peterson's looking to the right side. Creative work right there. Kind of poor tackling. And that's going to be a gain of 15 yards as this Cardinals defense has given up more first downs on this drive already than any other drive tonight.
Sutton might have had a shot at deflection there, but it looked like the ball went just over his fingertips.
Well, what they did right there is they run the receiver 6 yards, so he's in between. The receiver was Everaldo Serville. He runs 6 yards and just turns on a small curl, so he's in between Sutton, the corner who passed off on him, and Dante Bastion, the safety, who has to come down and attack him. Peterson puts the ball over Sutton, and then Servill's able to beat Bastion for a fairly nice gain. And now, once again, Peterson in the shotgun. He hands the ball off. Pui kicks to the left side. He's got some room, and he might be gone. Pui cuts inside. He's got some room. Gabriel Mitchell-White, though, does not give up on the play and takes him down at the 2-yard line. Or the 1-yard line, as a matter of fact, as Pui is inches away from the end zone, weaving his way through the Lawrence defense.
Good job by GMW to come from across the other end of the field, get the angle on him, make the tackle for him. It looked like about the 2-yard line. You can hear his mom celebrating. She's happy about that one.
And that's actually going to be marked down at the 4-yard line, as a matter of fact. We've seen this Cardinals defense have a couple goal line stands this season.
But another one.
I would not mind seeing another one right here. Honestly, everybody says, oh, what do they love in football? I love a good goal line stand, man.
Yeah, and this is a unique situation here for Princeton now. This is really, because their one touchdown was a long pass, so we're going to see how they operate in the red zone here. You know, not operating close to the end zone until the third quarter can throw you off a little bit, possibly.
The snap is the handoff to Pui. Pui gets in for 6.
Maybe not this time.
No goal line stand this time. Pui gets the handoff from his quarterback, Patron. He just runs to the left side, and he weaves his way through a hole. Very shifty. A running back who has the ability to get skinny, and it pays off there for 6.
So Princeton's showing a little bit of fight in this half. We'll see how Lawrence responds with their next drive. I mean, they took most of the quarter off the clock, so we'll see if they want to come out and do the same thing.
35-13 here now with 3:38 left, up, and we'll see, or 32-13 as a matter of fact. We'll see how the extra point goes here for Princeton, but we'll have an offsides penalty before that.
Couldn't tell who that was on, but it was on the Lawrence Cardinal. Now we'll see if they want to go for 2 here.
Might have been Dante Bastian. It looked like he might have been the man who crept up a little bit early on that one.
Looks like that Princeton's going to stick with it and kick it.
Gabriel Mitchell-White has a chance at the block, but it doesn't get there in time. And Jaden Johnson, the extra point kicker, puts that one right through the uprights. That'll make the score 32-14 with 3:38 left here in the third quarter. And one of the things you kind of look at in these situations in high school world specifically, the running clock when you go up by 33 points. Now at 18, for Lawrence to get to that point, you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It becomes a little bit tougher after the 2 missed extra points by Schuler and the made extra point right there by Johnson.
A little bit.
But nonetheless, up by 18, you're against a Princeton team that came off a really good win last week. Still a standout performance here through almost 3 quarters.
Absolutely.
Now GMW, Gabriel Mitchell-White, and the rest of the Cardinals get ready to field a kickoff. Wouldn't be shocked if we see another onside kick right here.
Quite possibly, but we'll see how. It'll actually be interesting to see how Raz decides to line up his hands team here. See if he favors his guys to one side. Expecting it looks like that's what he's doing. He's keeping everybody up close, and just Gabriel Mitchell-White is the lone man deep past the 40-yard line, resting on the 15. He's expecting an onside kick here. Smart call.
Better safe than sorry here. You get your guys ready at all times for this situation. Even Brandon Decker's out here on this hands team.
How about that? I think it's the second time he's done that this year?
Second or third time. You see even Decker commanding guys into their spots right now.
Shifting Amir Sutton.
Johnson boots this one down the field.
Let it go out.
And that one might go out of bounds, and that's going to be a flag, and that'll just help the Lawrence field position.
Yep. Now, I'm sure they're going to go out and just try to run the football again. Let Thunder and Lightning, Soto and Bastion just take you down the field again. Ideally, if you're Lawrence, you want to try to take this drive into the fourth quarter. Kill off the rest of this. Get yourself into the fourth quarter. Try to get one more score. Get the ice in the vein, or not the ice in the veins, I should say, but have the ice in your veins. Put the dagger in your opponent, and then just get out of here with a win.
Decker's going to take over with the rest of his offense at the 35-yard line. So 65 yards this time until to the end zone. 3:38 still left here in the third. Soto gets the handoff, has a little bit of a hole. He's lowering his shoulder. He absolutely makes one man collapse. And that's going to be a gain of 8 yards on that run. And man, Condris Soto on that run.
Just boom, every single play. I mean, when you have a guy his size, like people underestimate how fast he is and how well he can cut. When you have a guy not only that big running at you that fast, I mean, there's not necessarily any right way to hit him.
And that ball goes to Bastion on the following play. He only gets a gain of 1, so that's going to make it a third and probably honestly half a yard right here for the first down. Now, ticking under the 3-minute mark, the rain's starting to slightly pick up and my stomach's starting to growl, if I'm being completely honest. We're seeing Bastion in the backfield once again. Gabriel Mitchell-White and Armando Rosario, the two receivers to the right side. Flag before the play. Wouldn't be shocked if maybe there's an illegal motion or a false start.
Prior to the snap.
It's actually going to be It looks like it might be an
encroachment.
offside.
Okay, we'll take it.
Or that's going to probably be a false start. The gesture's going towards Lawrence.
We will not. I do not want to take it. Take my words back. Still waiting for the official call.
So, yeah, that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Cardinals, and that's going to make it 3rd and 6. And now, previous play, you might have just powered that one right up the middle with Bastion. You might have powered it right up the middle with Soto. Now it looks like we're going to begin that big man package we've seen tonight with Amir Sutton and Phil McCall at the fullback spots, and possibly Condra Soto run right up the middle right now. Soto does get the ball up the middle. His legs keep churning. Looks like he's going to be stood up short of the first down. 1 yard short at the 44-yard line. And that's going to bring us to 4th and 1, and we'll see how. Looks like Deckard and this offense are looking to stay out here for it.
4th and a yard.
Might just see the same play one more time. Soto gets it, and he has just stood up behind the line of scrimmage.
First time we've seen that today.
I mean, at a certain point, you know the play that's coming, and that time they won the battle in the trenches, and that's going to force a turnover on downs with 1:54 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Princeton will take over.
I mean, they were, Princeton was bound to win one battle in the trenches at some point. There it was.
41-yard line.
So now
they get a short field. They showed the ability to move the ball on the last drive. What do you think, Lawrence? Do you think a stop here is crucial for Lawrence to stop momentum, or do you think they're fine no matter what?
I don't want to say it's crucial, but ideally you don't want to give up points here. Just stick to your game, keep playing the way you were playing in the first half, and just try to get off to a good start here. Win the battle on first down and go from there.
Waiting for the Princeton offense to break out of the huddle.
Just under 2 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Lahemu Pui is once again the running back in the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. Petrovic is looking, or
incomplete.
Patron, I apologize, not Petrovic, Jackson Patron looking for Everaldo Serville on that play. Ball skips a little bit short of Serville. That's going to make it 2nd and 10 now with 1:50 left in this 3rd quarter. So it looked like Patron had the man open on that one, just couldn't connect with him. Now we're seeing the defensive line for most of this night. It's 2 underclassmen in there. Alexander Fernandez and Dane Bates have been getting significant tread on the defensive line, along with Condra Soto and Amir Rowell. On a veteran-laden defense, those two, that experience this year will obviously pay dividends in this year and the future. Ball's out. Fake handoff, or on a botched handoff, but Pui falls on top of it right away. Looked like a miscommunication between Patron and Pui. Maybe it looked like Pui thought Patron was going to kick it, because it looked like Pui never even attempted to grab the ball.
Didn't look like it. I mean, it just looked like a really heads-up play there from everybody.
5-yard line.
I literally blinked and saw the ball was on the ground.
It's going to bring up the 3rd.
And now 3rd and 15. Lawrence has done a fairly good job today limiting the gain on these situations. But after losing that turnover on downs, stop right here, get your offense off, or get your defense off of the field. Gabriel Mitchell-White lined up on Jaden Johnson on the right side.
Ball low snap.
Low snap. Good job by Patron to field it up. But he's got a man in his sights. Alexander Fernandez takes him down. Patron gets the ball off first.
Really good play here by Amir Sutton. They keep sticking with him to jam the receiver off the line. He does that, goes to rush the quarterback because he sees the ball's a low snap, but then he sees him rolling out. Actually brings himself back, takes contain, and takes away a man over the middle. Forces him to go to another read. But at this point, Lawrence defensive line finally got there, forced an incomplete pass. So really good job by Amir Sutton, pretty much taking that play over.
And Fernandez is lucky his tight end was there in line to block, because that's the only reason there was an intentional grounding on that play. The tight end was in the backfield, almost operating where a fullback normally would as a blocker. Patron just basically pegged it at his feet, and that's the only reason that this isn't a 4th and 30 on an intentional grounding instead of a 4th and 15.
That's where your coach is just telling you, don't take a sack, don't do intentional grounding.
3 receivers to the left, including Jaden Johnson and Everaldo Serville, the lone receiver to the right. So is Amir Sutton and Dante Bastion double teaming him. Patron looking to the right side, open to find his man. He escapes. He's looking to rush. Sutton leaps at him. But he'll still be stopped after a gain of 6 yards. Armando Rosario laying the hammer on Patron, and that's going to force a turnover on downs with 51 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
That's what you want to see from the Lawrence defense right there. They got shooken up previously. They gave up the touchdown, but they stood tall, gave up a turnover, or no, not gave up, but forced a turnover on downs. Now you're going to let the boys come back out on offense. Keep running the football. Keep trying to chew this clock out.
On their own.
51 seconds to go in quarter number 3.
Seeing once again Phil McCall checked in. Looks like this team might not go away from the last drive. Actually, Mir Sutton's on the sideline. Looks like we'll be getting a different Patrick. The one lineman came on a little bit late. Coach Radis was obviously not happy.
Making a vocal message to him.
So wind gets only worse here at Lawrence.
As you say that, an umbrella just blew inside out by the student section.
Looked like we might have seen a man jump off sides there. Actually, that's going to be a false start call.
Okay.
So not a good way to start that drive. After halftime, we complimented Lawrence for their ability to stay out of the penalties, to not have penalties thrown on them. A couple crucial penalties before the snap to open up this quarter.
Not ideal, but
still Condra Soto in the backfield. 2 receivers split out wide. Condra Soto gets the ball. He takes a hard hit, but not before he gets a gain of 3 yards to make this one 2nd and 12. Now the clock ticks under 40 seconds. We'll see. That should give us time for at least one more play. Now 2nd and 12. Are you trying to just run one more play, maybe make this 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7? Or you maybe trying to open this one up? This is a good time for a shot, in your opinion?
I think given your lead and the situation right now, you're just trying to get this game into the 4th quarter. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they could very well go for a pass here, but I think you're going to see a safe option no matter what, whether it's a run or a check down option on the pass.
It looks like we might actually see this one go into the 4th quarter. Waiting to officially see at the clock. Yeah, this clock's going to run down, and that's going to conclude the 3rd quarter for us here. Each team gets a touchdown. Condra Soto gets his 3rd of the game, and the Lawrence Cardinals lead 32-14 on their home field. Right here on 107.7 The Bronx. Stay tuned for the 4th quarter of action on 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Andre Soto on the ball count. They get up just across the Lawrence 40-yard line. By Mitchell White on Decker. Inside Princeton territory. Now to the Tigers' 38-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Welcome to Lawrence Cardinals, the 4th quarter of Lawrence Cardinals football on 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1. I'm Sean Tronobrov here with Matt Mitten. We missed a couple of plays. There's a little under 11 minutes left in this game. Lawrence leads 32-14. On the last play you missed, 3rd and 9 situation. Gabriel Mitchell-White does what he does best. Play action pass. He gets open to the outside, and he gets a gain of probably 22 yards for a 1st down to continue what has been an absolutely supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day for him.
I can't believe it.
Now Decker takes the snap. He rolls out to the right side. He hits Dane Bates, who unleashes a stiff arm before being knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line for a gain of 16.
Nice job by Dane Bates. Like I said, I wanted to see them find a way to get him more involved. Big-bodied freshman. Makes a nice catch, throws out the stiff arm.
Yeah, no, you see him, they run something a little bit more zesty there. They roll him out to the right side, hit him short, and he throws out the stiff arm, and a really nice play there. That's going to make it 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line on an electric start to this 4th quarter for the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Sean, your new word is ludicrous.
And now Decker takes the snap. He hands it off to Condra Soto. Soto bullies through the line of scrimmage, and he'll be taken down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. And that's going to be a 2nd and 3 for the Cardinals. Looks like we might have a man down on the field for Lawrence. Seeing somebody get checked on. That looks like it's the number 53 of Kyle Sheehy, I believe. Really good linebacker and offensive lineman, one of the keys to the Cardinal roster.
Kyle Sheehy.
Still waiting. It looks like he's still down.
And honestly, just going back to that play, it's going to be a 2nd and 4 situation, as a matter of fact, not 3. Just Condra Soto this entire game.
Yep.
He's been absolutely terrific. He's been borderline ludicrous. 2 touchdowns, well over the 100-yard mark.
As we see Kyle Sheehy being walked off, mostly on his own power, but good to see him off. Just heading in for a quick pit stop, hopefully.
And now we're seeing the Lawrence offense in the huddle once again. Wouldn't be shocked if we just see them continue to ground and pound their way through this 4th quarter.
Big package under center.
Decker takes the snap. He hands it up to Condra Soto. Soto cuts inside, and that's going to be TD number 3 for Condra Soto. Can't you see?
That's number 4, actually. Woo!
That is number 4. That is right.
Great balls to fire.
I feel so bad that I messed that up. That is so, wow, what a day for Condra Soto.
Baker's hat trick right there. That's 4.
That's 4. That's 4 for him, and that's going to put the Cardinals up 38-14.
Love to see a really nice power run up the middle. Well, not necessarily power run. Read the hole well, just made one cut, nothing but green grass ahead of him. 4 touchdowns in 4 quarters. Really an unbelievable game for Soto on both sides of the ball. What a way to go out.
What an absolute game for him. This has been a terrific performance. Actually, Soto
extra point is blocked, but picked up by Lawrence.
Soto is actually only a junior, so at least he's got maybe one more year of these shenanigans.
I was thinking for the season, actually, but good point.
My bad. I thought you meant it because this is potentially the last game on this field.
Either way, a lot of promising stuff for him next year. That's for sure.
Next year, the way he runs, the way he can wear down a defense, and what he can do on the defensive side of the ball, that's a potential all-conference, all-division type of player.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Welcome back to Lawrence Cardinal football. I am Sean Chonabrov here with Matt Mitten. There is 9:37 left here in the 4th quarter. The Cardinals are up 38-14 in what has been one of their most impressive, well-rounded displays of this season. Condra Soto just scored his 4th touchdown of the night. And now we are waiting for Will Schuler, the kicker, to boot this one down the field. Actually, it's not Schuler anymore. He may have been, he's actually being checked out by the trainers right now. Can't quite, that is going to be number 10, Anton Zdanu, kicking this one down the field. Zdanu just hits a pooch pick, actually more of an onside kick, and that is going to be recovered by Richter Jake, the number 72 on the Princeton Tigers, who will take over around the 50-yard line.
You know, Lawrence has really got to love where they're at right now. You're looking about just under 10 to go. Got a good lead, Sean. This is as good as it gets for them.
This has been a fantastic performance. Like you said, 9:34 to go left in this game. It feels like almost everything's been clicking for the Cardinals in this one.
No question.
My mistake, Princeton will actually be taking over at their own 45-yard line. And also, just the way this is like, I know it's not senior night, but some of these seniors, this might be the last game on this field. Just a wonderful way for them to be playing today. And a lot of them being able to make statements. And now we see Jackson Patron take his first snap of the drive. He's rolling to the right side, looking for a man down the field. He's trying to find Everaldo Silva, and Everaldo Serville, and he finds him. Serville is able to get behind Dante Bastian for the 3rd time tonight, and he gets a catch right there to bring the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 38 yards.
That's a tough spot there for Bastian when you got a guy who's just bigger than you. He has the ability to kind of push you, get behind you. And when you're Bastian, you're just trying to focus on closing the gap. And when you do that as a corner, you don't necessarily have the opportunity to really look back, so he can't look for the ball. All he can do is put his hands up. The receiver still has the opportunity to go up, just make the catch.
And now that's good. It looks like we might have a momentary break on the field, maybe a timeout. Not sure exactly what happened.
Still waiting to see.
Also, what I'm seeing on the sideline, I'm seeing the backup quarterback, number 8, Graham Walter, the junior QB, the likely successor to Brandon Decker, taking snaps under center, or taking snaps. Not sure if he's going to come into this game, but...
Well, if it is, we'll see. Hopefully they'll give Deckard a little bit of a curtain call as he checks out. As Deckard's actually now in on defense, it looks like he's playing safety or defensive back. It's a unique situation.
They subbed him in for Bastion, it looks like, because now it looks like we have a trio of corners of Artie Stubbs in the nickel, Gabriel Mitchell-White to the left, and then we have Brandon Deckard taking Bastion's spot. And they're going to run a screen pass, Princeton on the snap. They're going to hit Jaden Johnson, who navigates his way through the defense. Brandon Deckard gets his hands on him, but is unable to prevent him from going into the end zone.
So I think the logic behind that substitution there was to try to bring in a taller guy down by the goal line and match the other receiver's height there. Still an interesting choice now, but we'll see what Lawrence decides to go with for their next offensive drive.
38-20, and we're going to see Jaden Johnson as the rain just got a little bit worse here.
Rain and wind, man. Oh, this is going to be a fun walk back to the car.
It's going to be a fun drive back. Jaden Johnson getting ready for another extra point. He is 2 for 2 on his extra points tonight. Looks like we have a penalty. Looks like there might be a false start, as a matter of fact. Matt Melchier, number 55, he faked like he was going to rush, and he was able to draw one of the Princeton defenders into a false start. So good work by the veteran linebacker. So now Jaden Johnson's going to boot this one back from 5 yards further.
Still waiting on the PAT. Another false start.
Penalty marker thrown. Again, prior to the snap. Encroachment against the Cardinals.
It's encroachment against the Cardinals. So that is now 2 penalties on this extra point attempt.
We're just waiting for this one to go. We're just waiting for the ball to be spot to be changed. Now back down to the 2-yard line after that.
Now you got to wonder if they're going to come on and go for 2, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
Seeing a couple substitutions, wouldn't be shocked. We're just still waiting on this may be a slightly exaggerated extra point.
I think they're just trying to keep us here for a little bit longer.
Maybe they'll keep us here just long enough for the storm to cool down. That's not what the weather is saying, but I could be optimistic.
Yeah, no, I'll have faith in that.
Now it looks like you're right. 2 penalties. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion now. Patron takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He's trying to hit his receiver. And really nice play by Meyer Clay. Jaden Johnson gets the ball right at the goal line. Meyer Clay wraps him up immediately and throws him, ensuring that he can't get the 2-point conversion and keeping the score at 38-20.
Gives Lawrence a nice 18-point buffer going in. 9:14 to go in the game.
And just that play by Clay, you can't underestimate the IQ. You've heard Coach Radis talk about it in past coaches' show. He is the heartbeat of that defense at times. You see him right away. He recognizes the out-breaking route from Jaden Johnson. Immediately downhill, hard like a bullet. He comes in, he wraps him up. Technique perfect. Oh my gosh, intelligence perfect. Everything perfect on that defensive play. And he keeps the buffer, like you said, at 18 points. Now 9:14 left in this game. Get your offense back on the field. You're going to see yet another onside kick. Just keep mowing down this clock.
Yeah, it looks like they have Deckard back out there for the hands team once again. They are sending GMW back.
GMW back all the way as a deep man. Surprised they never bring him up maybe into the hands team and I don't know, throw like a Condra Soto back there and Alexander Fernandez, someone who could just kind of field that one.
We'll see what they do here.
Jaden Johnson on the field for his 4th kickoff of the night. See him communicating with his team, counting off that he has all 11 men on the field. Not going to see another one of those fancy onside kicks where he just kind of turns around right off of the huddle. Johnson puts his hand in the air, walks up to this one. Oh, he pooches this one straight in the air, and Dane Bates, the freshman tight end,
nice catch.
Catches it straight up. No need to let it bounce, no fumble. Secure hands there from the freshman, and that's going to give Lawrence the ball at the 50-yard line.
So now we'll see what the Lawrence offense wants to do.
Looks like Deckard's going to stay out, so backup Graham Waller will not be put into this one quite yet, or if at all. haven't seen, the only one time Decker went out this season for a play or two was against Allentown, and he was actually hurt for that game as well.
Yeah, and she gave him much White came into a snap or two under center.
Yes, he did. Decker now under center. You have Dane Bates at fullback, Condra Soto at running back. That's going to be a gain of 2 yards on that first run. Soto with a gain of 2. We've seen him get plenty of tread in this game. Like you said it plenty of times, what did you need pregame? You needed to run. You needed to establish that physical presence. And there are very few better physical presences we've seen all season than Condra Soto.
Very few.
And that's just kind of been the key in this one as Decker trots back into the huddle. Just keep running, just keep on going, keep hard fought, win the trenches, and just keep the chains moving. They've completely controlled the clock and as a result completely controlled the game. Decker gets this one. Decker hands one off to Dante Bastian, who breaks a tackle or two, but he's going to be taken down after a gain of 3 yards, and that's going to make it a 4 yards. That's going to make it a 3rd and 4 situation. And now you're in that 3rd and manageable where we might see, it looks like we might see that big goal line package once again with Amir Sutton, with Phil McCall as the fullbacks, and then you're going to get Condra Soto in the backfield.
Big man set to rumble for another quarter, possibly, as we're under 8 minutes to go in the game.
7:50 left as of right now. Soto gets this one. He's going to have a first down and then some. His legs keep churning. He keeps moving, and he goes all the way down to the 34-yard line.
34-yard line.
Nice run there by Soto again, up the gut, just being physical all game.
First and 10.
And now Soto at this point has got to be over 120, 130 yards. Throughout the entire season, we've said every single game, get Condra Soto working. Get him establishing. And that's what we've been looking for all season. When you work Condra Soto, you work the clock and certain things are going to work in your favor. That includes the scoreboard. That often includes the turnover battle. And that just includes the overall scoring and control of the game. 7:08 left in this one as Lawrence breaks the huddle once again. Decker gets a snap, hands it to Soto, who's got a lane to the left side. He breaks a tackle, and he's going to, after a gain of 14 yards, he's going to be down at the 20-yard line as he just keeps on moving the chains.
Move them chains.
6:50 left here. Lawrence now Dante Bastian checks in, and Lawrence at this point feels like they're somewhat on cruise control. They feel like this game is somewhat, like you just have this feeling now you could settle down, keep working the clock, the game is firmly yours as long as you don't collapse.
That's what it seems.
Huddle breaks. Decker under center. Decker hands the ball to Bastian. Bastian makes a man miss in the backfield. He's turning the corner, and he is going to be in for 6. Dante Bastian, little Saquon doing Saquon things. Get into the left side, turning the corner, and getting his first touchdown of the day.
Nice shove by Bastian to bounce that one outside and does what he does best. Gets outside, turns the corner, and just turns on the afterburners.
Turns on the afterburners. You saw a man, it looked like number 3, Everaldo Silva, having a chance to get to him in the backfield. See Bastian's quick one cut inside, what have we seen from him so many times in this game. He breaks it outside, gets all the way up the field, and that's going to make this one 44-20 with 6:11 left here in the game.
Now you got to wonder, barring a score here from Princeton, is Decker going to come out again for another drive?
And now Decker, looks like we're going to get a 2-point conversion opportunity right here. I guess after a couple missed extra points in a row, Coach Radis has decided to get away from it. Decker gets the snap. He's rolling to the right side. He's almost sacked, just kind of throws the ball in the air, and good awareness play by Artie Stubbs to just kind of knock it down and not risk trying an interception or anything fancy. 6:11 left. Lawrence is up 44-20. And that, I guess, it might be a little bit premature, but what has kept Lawrence so consistent in this one? Because they really haven't taken off their foot off the gas after that GMW touchdown.
I think it really does start off with the quick defensive stop, and then just you see the Gabriel Mitchell-White, screenplay that turned in. I think it just turned on the momentum for both sides so early, and they just never lost. They just stuck to their game, and they only kept getting better and better and better. But I think when you look at just how fast the start they got off to, it's something that's been hit or miss for Lawrence this year. They really got off to a hot start and didn't cool down one bit.
And through that hot start, through the rain, through nothing, Brandon Decker, incredibly efficient. The entire team, incredibly efficient, incredibly clean football. And if this is the Lawrence team that, was healthy enough to be this team all season, this is a team that would probably have an above 500 record.
Quite possibly.
And now we're seeing the kickoff once again by number 10, Anton Zdanu, the junior linebacker and running back. Zdanu with an onside kick. He pooches this one up, and it is caught by the Princeton defensive end or hands member, number 33. That's number 30. Sorry, the little bit of rain actually got on my paper, but Brooks Cahill Sanitas is the name.
Okay.
That's gonna be now it's an absolute onslaught on right here.
Everybody in the booth standing up for this.
You just saw 3 people, if you guys were right next to us, 2 people sitting down, instantaneously sit down. I'm gonna crouch kind of in a corner to keep myself a little bit dry, Matt. You keep doing you.
I'm all right where I'm at. Maybe hit or miss.
Patron gets the snap. He tries to hit his receiver on another screen, similar to the play that they scored on the last drive, but that's going to fall incomplete. And wow, this one's, I hate to use a generic phrase here, but it is quite literally raining cats and dogs.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong. Don't step in a poodle out there, folks.
Oh my gosh, you did not actually say that.
What? You're going to say that, 5-syllable word to describe Gabriel Mitchell-White's game?
What? Matt, you make me laugh.
6 to go in the fourth quarter.
Matt, as our engineer Trey would say, that pun was so not dank. Now Patron, he's going down the field.
Almost picked off.
Armando Rosario is the deep man. He almost had a chance at the interception, but that one's going to fall incomplete.
Hey, NJ Transit called. They found my body underneath one of their buses.
And that's going to make it a 3rd and 10 situation. As now the Lawrence defense, once again, just another strong drive, as now the rain is literally reflecting off of the booth and onto me. Absolutely wild scene here. Patron has 2 running backs, one to his right, to his left, a receiver to each side as well. Motions out, Pui to the right side. He's looking to push this one down the field, and he's going to overthrow all his receivers on that one, and that's going to make it a 4th and 10 with 5:48 left here.
He's up 4th down.
4th down now.
The Tigers.
Now, Matt, just looking at, if you're the Lawrence defensive coordinator, is there anything they could pull out, that Princeton could pull out, that you haven't seen yet today?
You could probably see a potential behind pass, which turns into a receiver throwing downfield, or some kind of misdirection or option. Flipperoo play, really nothing. Really only trick plays at this point. I feel like
this Princeton team. We've seen a lot of deep shots. We've seen a lot of intermediate, a lot of screens. As far as the passing game goes, we've really seen pretty much everything I feel like they have to offer in the playbook. They've really showed a lot of trust in Patron. Just a really good defensive performance by Lawrence. Patron takes the snap under center. He fakes the handoff. Condra Soto bearing down on him. Gabriel Mitchell-White in a 50-50. Really good work by GMW with the pass breakup, stopping Jaden Johnson from getting his hands on the ball 30 yards downfield.
Penalty marker back at the 45-yard line.
Penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be looks like a roughing the passer. Condra Soto, I believe it was the one who laid a hit a little bit late on that play. He almost got to Patron before the throw, but probably just an inch too late and an inch too rough, and that's going to give an automatic 1st down to Princeton. Or actually, that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. No, is it?
He hasn't marked it off.
Oh, he has not marked it off yet. I got a little bit confused. It looked 15 in the automatic first down as always, and that's going to bring the ball down to the Lawrence 38-yard line. 5:40 left here.
Started at the Cardinals 38-yard line.
Patron now in the shotgun, one running back and two receivers, two tight ends. He hands it off to Pui. Pui's got a little bit of a lane, but he's going to be taken down by Artie Stubbs at the 32-yard line. And that's just another nice play from Stubbs. All day you see Stubbs, whether he's on offense, clean blocker. Haven't really seen him get used much in the receiving game today, but on the defensive side of the ball, he's one of those plenty of Lawrence players we see who plays two ways, who can make an impact on both sides of the ball and really swing a game.
Quite literally.
Artie Stubbs, or now Amir Sutton once again lined up on Everaldo Seville. And Pui gets the handoff, and he's made one-man miss, two-man miss.
Ball's out.
The ball is out as Pui gets thrown to the ground, but it looks like a Princeton Tiger falls on top of it. Jaden Johnson, touchdown, a few extra points, a couple nice tackles, and add a fumble recovery to his stat line tonight.
Just under 5 to go in regulation.
That one's going to keep the clock moving. That's going to give it. Now we're at the 4:40 mark. Lawrence still up 44 to 20 in this one.
41-20.
4:30 now left. Patron takes a snap, takes the handoff to Pui. He's going to try to hit his receiver, and he does. He gets Everaldo Serville for his second touchdown of the night. Serville hits a quick, deep in route. He gets on the inside of Dante Bastion, gets good position, and a nice throw by Patron to put it exactly where it needed to be. 4:19 left in this one as we await what is likely going to be a two-point conversion attempt. That does appear to be what it is. Last one was stopped, still 44-26, so 18-point lead right now for the Cardinals. They'd probably like to keep it there. Keep it at 3 possessions. Patron in the shotgun. Pui as the halfback, one receiver to each side. Hands it off to Pui. Pui's looking for a lane, and the Cardinals give him absolutely nothing, but the offensive lines on each side are pushing, and Pui will be kept out. Great work by Amir Rowe, the first man to beat his lineman and get his arms wrapped around Pui.
Nice job by Rowe to stick with the play to the very end.
26.
And that's going to be 44-26 in this one. 4:19 left in this game. And now another onside kick. Game still feels obviously firmly in your hands, but if you're Lawrence at this point, you just want to run out this clock.
You just want to run out the clock, get out of here, and get yourself dry.
I also agree. I would like to get out of here and get myself dry as well.
We're in the booth, man. Imagine what they're going through. Still not looking forward to that walk back to the car.
I mean, I didn't grow up playing football. I grew up playing soccer, but I think I've played in some rainier and snowier weather than this. You know, it's weird. I was a goalkeeper too, so I just stood there for 90 minutes and just felt the rain. And I have a feel like I can't imagine being, some of the guys who don't get as much playing time, or if you're like a Brandon Decker, right? You only play on offense, and you have so many guys that play two ways, just sitting there in the rain.
Well, at least they got their helmets on, so like it keeps their head somewhat dry, I guess.
Dude, I don't know how some of these guys aren't even wearing Under Armour right now.
Yeah.
I give them all credit. I get it might not be like 30 degrees, and that's going to be an onside kick. They don't even break the huddle. Whistle blows, flag right away. Right, you saw them do you saw Princeton do what they did in the first half, where they just kind of break their huddle, and Jaden Johnson, the kicker, immediately turns around and just pounds the ball right up the middle. That's going to be a penalty, and that's going to back up Princeton. They'll now be kicking the ball from their own 35-yard line.
Tigers will re-kick from their own 35-yard line.
Princeton now, Jaden Johnson talking to his team once again. Fakes the quick kick that time. He will back up for this one.
See if they do an onside kick again.
Johnson boots this one in the air.
Caught
and
by Bates
Dane
again.
Bates, good work for the second time tonight, or second onside kick tonight. He gets under the ball, very calm, very procedural, just catches it, goes down, and that's going to give the Cardinals the ball at the 50, right at the 50-yard line. And now Brandon Decker, QB9, potentially his final game here at Lawrence, back onto the field in what has been a magnificent performance tonight.
Quite potentially his final drive on this field as well. But yeah, really great all-around heads-up performance from him tonight. 4:16 to go in the game.
Decker now, it's going to be Phil McCall in the backfield this time, taking the running back snaps, and Condra Soto lined up as a blocker with Amir Sutton. Decker hands off to McCall. McCall's got a lane. He's got to run a little bit. And he's probably got 9 or 10 yards, possibly. He's going to be around a yard short of a first down. McCall's first carry of the night, really productive and really just a hard-nosed running style from him. Somewhat Condra Soto-esque, I may say.
Somewhat, yeah. Really nice hard up-the-middle run by him. Quick off the handoff.
To the Princeton 42-yard line. 8 and 8, 2nd and 2.
Could have potentially been a first down. They actually mark him down at the 42. Referees weren't feeling overly generous to Phil on that play. Looked like it could have been the 41 or even a first down. But I guess they marked his knee or his forward progress down a little bit earlier than us in the booth. Two same formation. McCall in the backfield. Artie Stubbs lined up a tight end. Hand off to McCall, and he's going to get a first down, and he's going to get absolutely leveled. A little bit of extracurricular activities after the play. But that's going to be a first down, and he's going to be down at the 36-yard line. 37-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5. We are now bordering going under the 3-minute mark.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Decker comes out onto the field, and I guess as this is potentially his last game here, I guess, Matt, just kind of to recap what we've seen from Decker and last year of his 4-year varsity career, what really strikes you about him as a player?
I guess just his ability just to keep his eyes down the field as a quarterback. Really good, underrated athlete, knows how to run well, knows how to throw well, just an all-around team leader.
Decker now under center. Ball comes out on the snap. Condra Soto right away falls on that one. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards as he recovers the ball at the 40-yard line. Looks like we have a timeout here, waiting to see who actually used theirs. It's good. Princeton decided to call timeout after the fumbled snap. 2:25 left here in this one, and that's gonna be one of now. This is probably Princeton just trying to give themselves another chance. We usually end up saying it about Lawrence, but this week now you're looking at the Princeton side of things. Princeton has to be thinking, okay, we have our consolation game. We're 2-6. We were coming off a win, expected a better performance. But you're looking for those little things now. You're maybe looking to get the ball in Patron's hands one more time. Let him go to work.
It is little things like that. I agree. With, let's see, 2:25 to go in regulation.
44-20 or 42-26 is the current score, or 44-26, excuse me. And we've seen a number of and also one of the things I feel like we could really point out here is while we've focused a lot on tonight's game about, saying goodbye to the guys like Decker, Gabriel Mitchell-White, a lot of these veterans, you've also seen guys like Alexander Fernandez, Dane Bates, some really nice plays from them. Condra Soto, those guys are next year. Those guys are the future and the long term.
That they are, so it's time to say hello to them.
Exactly, and those are going to be the guys that do really good things for years to come. Decker gets the snap, he hands it off to Condra Soto, and Soto is just going to get back to the line of scrimmage and pretty much nothing more than that.
One of the few times we've seen Soto contained today.
Princeton's going to use their second timeout of the half, obviously trying to put themselves in a position to get another chance to run out their score.
We'll see if Lawrence gives them that chance or tries to close out the game here.
As it continues to downpour, I have to just say I respect the heck out of every person who is sitting in those stands right now.
The feeling is mutual on that one.
I don't care if you have an umbrella or not. There's no way this rain is not at all hitting you. or the wind. Now third and 12 situation from the 40-yard line. Obviously, probably with the way the score is, 2:15 left. Probably still a running situation for you. Just get Princeton to use their final timeout of the game.
I agree.
And then boot this one down the field if you don't get a first down here. And it looks like we're in a running formation again. Artie Stubbs to the left side on this the tight end. Dane Bates lined up as the tight end to the right. No receivers. Phil McCall and Amir Sutton, the fullbacks. Decker gets the snap. He's rolling out. We're actually getting a pass. He's going to throw the ball to Phil McCall. McCall catches it. And McCall's going to keep his legs moving, but he's going to be taken down after a gain of probably 7 yards, and that's going to make it a 4th and 5 situation.
Ball inside.
And Princeton is going to use their final timeout right here.
33-yard line as the Tigers take their 3rd and final timeout.
You get a first down here. If you're running the 4-down territory, you're first down away from just taking a knee and being able to walk out of here with an easy victory.
Easy victory indeed. Just under 2 minutes to go.
Clock officially reads a minute 58. Lawrence is in a 4th and 5 situation from the Princeton 33-yard line. If you're just tuning in for the end of this one, 4 touchdowns from Condra Soto, 2 from Gabriel Mitchell-White, and 1 from Dante Bastian has been the scoring in a spectacular offensive display for the Cardinals. Still their 2nd highest scoring game of the year because they put up 47 on West Windsor Plainsboro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brendan Deckert now leads his team back onto the field. McCall, Sutton, Condra Soto, once again, no change in formation. Deckard gets the ball. He's going to roll it once again. Gets a block from Soto. Deckard's looking. He's trying to find Artie Stubbs down the field. And that is going to be broken up by Jackson Patron. The senior quarterback safety makes the play on that one. Apparently, it looks like we're going to have a penalty marker thrown. Illegal lineman downfield. 3rd time we've had that one called tonight on Lawrence, but that's going to be a decline penalty as the Tigers find their way back onto the field.
The Tigers have it. 1st and 10.
A minute 50 left in this one. Score is 44-26. Getting close to the ending, but just remember, guys, as this game ends, stay tuned to find out which Cardinal will be the most valuable player of the game. Listen for our LHS MVP of the game immediately following today's action during the Lawrence Cardinals postgame show, exclusively on your 2021 National Association of Broadcasters Marconi Award nominee for College Radio Station of the Year, 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1.
1:50 to go as Princeton takes.
Patron takes the snap. He's dropping back. He's going to try to hit a tight end screen to the opposite side of the field, and he does. He hits his receiver. There's going to be another flag, probably for unnecessary roughness, as that play fails to gain a single yard. Patron hits Jake Angelucci, the sophomore tight end, but despite not getting a yard, looks like a couple defenders there for Lawrence closed in and might have hit him late. Might have been Artie Stubbs on that one, who looks obviously disappointed, or even one of the defensive tackles. That's going to move the ball 15 yards.
No. Under two.
1:37 to go in the game.
2 minutes on the defense. Clock should stop by rule. There you go. I knew the answer.
Patron gets a snap and he hits Jaden Johnson to the right side for one of many times tonight. Johnson had no coverage on him on the out route, and he's able to run up the field for 9 yards before being pushed out of bounds by Gabriel Mitchell-White. Mitchell-White, as much as we talk about him as this all quality, all whatever you want to call it, which he is, receiver, he's an equally adept cornerback. While he's not perfect, obviously nobody is, but
he knows his way around the defensive side of the ball.
Exactly, could not have said it better myself. Was looking for the right words. He's a fearless tackler, fearless in coverage, and obviously those ball skills that the receiver play on that side as well. Ball is fumbled on the snap. We're going to see who comes up with it. Looks like Princeton fell on top of that one.
Now under a minute to go in the game.
Under a minute to go. That's going to make it a 3rd and probably 9. That's going to make it a 3rd and 9 as the clock continues to run. We're going under the 40-second mark. That's going to be a 3rd and 8 or 9 situation. Potentially the last snap of the game as the Cardinals, why not? Brandon Deckert now back at the safety spot. Somewhat poetic to see him and Gabriel Mitchell-White possibly on the field together for one last time. Him and Dante Bastian, or Gabriel Mitchell-White switches to the right side of the field on this play. Bastian lined up to the left. Flake the play action. Patron's looking for somebody. He's got nobody. Evades all the rushers. He's going to take this one himself. He lowers his shoulder.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Might be a helmet to helmet. Not sure you'd call that one on because it looked like Patron lowered his shoulder
with
first.
1 second left to play.
1 second left to play. That play did take a while.
It'll be then time down anyway, so everybody ran it out. If it's on
personal foul. Helmet to helmet.
Foul.
Kind of confused on that one. Patron lowered his head first and kind of initiated it from my perspective. But yeah, if there was a late hit out of bounds, I would have said, okay, the referees see that better than I do, but that one didn't look that way to me.
Not fully sure from my angle.
It's going to be a 1st and 10 with 1 second left. Patron going to take the final snap of the game right here. Patron in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He takes this one, he's looking down the field, trying to get some last score. Throws it to Silver.
Incomplete.
And Serville, and that's going to be incomplete, and that is going to do it for this game. The Lawrence Cardinals, on their home field for potentially their final time of the season, take down the Princeton Tigers 44-26 behind 4 touchdowns from Condra Soto and 2 from Gabriel Mitchell-White. Fantastic performance, and we'll be here to break it all down very briefly on the post-game show right here on 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC1.
We'll see you next time here at Lawrence High School Stadium, the home of the Cardinals.